Working towards the final session now as we're live in South Korea with Rick Edwards for the final day of the 2011 IAAF World Championships on 4.
Phillips Adowu in the triple jump, Mo Farah in the 5,000 metres. Two men so capable of winning gold for Britain tonight. It's going to be an explosive finale to the 13th World Athletics Championships. Taekwondo, the national sport of South Korea. The locals were telling us at the start of the week that they weren't especially into track and field. They were telling us last night they've been converted by the brilliance of these championships. Michael Johnson, it really has been a great week, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great championships. It's been phenomenal. You've seen some great performances, some really tight races, some great competition from start to finish, from the first day all the way to the last. And the crowd has been great. I mean, I have to admit I had my doubts early on whether Daegu was the right choice for the IAAF to bring these championships, but I think given the fact that the sport has now converted some new fans over, I think it was a good decision. It's been a great atmosphere here in the stands. What I've heard from the athletes who have participated here is they like the track. It's nice and fast. That the crowd has been great for them and given them positive feedback, which has converted into some great performances and races on the track.
How does it compare to previous World Championships that you've been to?
There have been some great World Championships over the past since its inception in 1983, but usually there are a few different stars that those championships are focused on. In this particular situation, I think, it kind of funny, it turned out that it actually ended up being a great championship where the focus was not on so much, a few different stars. At the beginning of this season, leading into these championships, the times across the board for most events just weren't that great. Most of the events, there wasn't a good level of competition other than men's 400-meter hurdles. But once we got here, things just kicked off, and it's been phenomenal.
Okay, so as it stands, Team GB have won 5 medals, 1 gold, 3 silver, 1 bronze, and lie 6th in the medal table. This evening, we'll be pinning our hopes of adding to that haul on 2 men, Mo Farah and Phillips Adowu. This is how Phillips went about qualification for the triple jump final.
Now Phillips underperformed at Crystal Palace, but that's because he was in heavy training. It's very difficult for athletes to train hard and compete well, but he should be well rested up. And he's aiming for 17:10, which is the automatic qualifying mark. Nice, Phillips. Lovely jubbly, mate. Straight over, first jump into the final. He looked very, very relaxed, and Phillips in the early part of his career well known for putting out big jumps in the first round. Now he feels like, well, I feel like certainly that he could do it in any round. 17:17, that's the furthest qualifying jump we've seen.
Good stuff from the boys, and a reminder that final starts at 11:05 your time. Our other big medal hope this evening is the man who's already medalled here in Daegu when he agonisingly missed out on gold in the 10,000.
With 200 metres to go, it's Farah against Jalan. Is Farah going to be able to do it? Jalan is so strong, and he's around 150 metres to go, and Mo Farah's got to dig deep. He's gritting his teeth, and he's struggling. He's starting to roll, but has he got the sheer determination and the speed to hold off this challenge? Is it going to be gold for Farah? And on the line, no! Just denied, and he has to settle for silver. It's a silver medal for Mo Farah. Ibrahim Jalan caught him on the last lap. A former world junior champion, a 22-year-old Ethiopian, and it was a blistering last lap. Farah went with 500 to go, but he just couldn't maintain it, and the Ethiopian kisses the track in his moment of celebration, and it has to be a silver medal for Mo Farah, and the dream remains for the moment an illusion of a global title.
A few years ago we wondered whether Mo would ever win a medal at a world level or Olympic level. Recently we've been thinking that he could have won the gold. That was a brave run, it was a great run. maybe he went a little bit too early. Once you make your kick, you've got to be confident that you can keep that going the whole way, and he couldn't quite break Jalen.
The last voice we heard there in the commentary was, of course, Dave Moorcroft's former world record holder at 5,000 metres. He joins us now. Dave, can Mo do it?
Yes, he can, absolutely. Every time I watch that, I think this time he's going to win it. He is physically capable of it. He's inevitably going to be tired having run the 10,000 metres. There's a few athletes that also are trying to do the 5,000 double. It's going to be mightily tough tonight. There's a guy called Bernard Lagat, who's one of the greatest middle and long distance runners the world's ever seen, born in Kenya, now running for the USA. He's relatively fresh. And there are many other great runners in it, but Mo is capable of it.
The American distance runners have had a good tournament as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and I think that the only one that we would have really expected to have a great tournament is Bernard Lagat. I mean, Bernard's got great 1,500 meter speed as well, and so I think that, I mean, you would know this better than me, Dave, but I think that when it comes down to it, it's going to come to tactics, and Bernard's going to hope that that race is set up for him to outkick everyone, which he's capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, Lagat's a former Olympic silver and bronze medalist at the 1,500 metres. He's the second fastest man ever at 1,500 metres. In that sense, you would say Lagat's got all the speed. But if there's a difference between being a fast runner at the end of a race in a 1,500 and being able to sprint at the end of the 5, when a lot of the pace has been dragged out of you. So and already this year, Mo has beaten Lagat in a 5,000 metre race. But Gabri Meskel from Ethiopia, he's not going to let things be all Mo's way. So it's going to be incredibly tough. But Mo's probably got to run not only the greatest physical race of his life, I think tactically he's got to run his best ever race. He's got to, whenever he decides to go, it has to be the perfect time that when he accelerates, he's confident that he can keep it going right through to the line.
And let's talk a bit about the triple jump. Do you think if Phillips jumps sort of 1750 plus, the title will be his?
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think that any of those other guys are going to be able to stay with him if he has one of his better days. I mean, he's got the fifth longest jump in the world this year. But all of the guys in the competition, of all of them, he's been the most consistent. He's beaten all of them all this year. So I think that he knows coming in that he's the best. They know that he's the best, but he's got to have a great performance here in order to keep those guys off his back.
For sure. Dave, thank you very much for now. OK, in about 30 minutes' time, Di Green will be here in the studio. This morning, once again, there was no full session, but there was the men's marathon. We'll have a look at that when we get back from the break.
Well, conditions not too warm at the moment, but there is that 65% humidity, and you would anticipate it's going to get hotter and conditions tougher, more searching as the entertainment unfolds. The last championships winner, Abel Kirui of Kenya, is in the field. He won in Berlin, and the Kenyans, no doubt mindful of the fact that they performed so wonderfully in the distance events here, and particularly that last weekend, Rob, the Kenyan women, headed by Edna Kiplagat, produced a 1-2-3 to really set their stall out for these championships.
Yes, good morning, John. The Kenyan domination here in Daegu has been one of the talking points. They're going for a 7th gold medal. Rhodesia and Kiprop and Kemboi winning the men's 8:15 in the steeplechase, and then Edna Kiplagat with that amazing 1-2-3 in the women's marathon, and Vivian Cheriot doing the 5 and 10 double. But the Ethiopians, you got a glimpse of Wendimu there. The Ethiopians have got a good team, but the 5 Kenyans in this field are all truly world class, and it'll take a brave man to bet against one of them doing the business. In fact, for the historians among you, only 2 men have successfully defended the World Championship Marathon title. Abel Anton, 97 and 99, and Garib, the rocket-fast Moroccan, in 03 and 05. So Kirui does come here with some form, and he adds his name to a rich list of champions if he can do it again. Now, is this a break? I think it is. Vincent Kipruto has hit the front, winner of the Paris Marathon 2 years ago, and he has decided it's time for an injection of pace. Lelisa responding, coming up onto his shoulder, and now some of the other main protagonists just getting back on track, including the defending champion, Abel Karui there. You just get that magnificent shot, really. The cameraman must be pretty close to the ground there, and now he pulls away to give them a little bit of breathing space. So Vincent Kipruto just deciding to push on.
And the third athlete in that lead group who just found that little injection of pace was Adi Anani, the Moroccan, who's a 2-hour 11-minute man. Meanwhile, we're looking down the field here at some of the athletes struggling to stay in touch.
Just got a glimpse of the two Brits there in the back of shot. Lee Merrion and Dave Webb obviously deciding to work together. And the 5K split, just to remind you, they were 16 seconds off the pace, and quite sensibly deciding to run their own race. And we will, of course, keep you up to date with their splits as we go through all the different checkpoints.
Lee Merrion, Newham and Essex Beagles from the Channel Island of Guernsey. 2 hours 16-minute man, and Dave Webb, Northern Area champion at 5,000 metres in years gone by, running now in marathons from the Leeds City Club. Works as a chartered accountant, and he's a 2 hours 15-minute man at best.
If you're tuning in and you don't watch marathons all that often, let me just try and put into context the speed that these guys are currently running at. At the previous checkpoint, it was fairly mild, the pace, by their very high standards, sort of 2:14, 2:15. We shouldn't expect it to significantly increase, but even if it were to be won in 2 hours 10, for example, that's 3:05 per kilometre. And to try and put that into context for you, the averagely fit man on the street would be running flat out for half a mile to try and keep up with these guys, and then you would be absolutely spent force. They really are motoring. You cannot emphasize that enough. Compared to the average man in the street, these guys are sprinting. And you can see...
I was going to say, you see it more when you get that side shot, don't you? So often when you're watching marathons, you get the camera shot from the front. One of the Kenyans making a little bit of a mistake there, not noticing the fence. Fairly significant fence, isn't it? You thought that would have got into the eye line. Quite a few of them seem to be drifting off the course. Lack of concentration, maybe. Look at that again.
I think it might have been Kip Tanui. Yeah, look. Lelisa there, tracking the Kenyans. He is looking arguably the best of all the Ethiopians. Still such a youngster, so inexperienced on the global stage, but so fast.
Moroccans working as a team. That's Ahmed Badai, number 740, who's decided to take on the pace. 37 years old, and his teammate has gone with him, Adi Anani. So it's now a Moroccan 1-2. And is that a third Moroccan who's made his way? It is indeed. I think that's a third Moroccan, Rashid Kizri. So it's now a Moroccan 1-2-3.
Some definite team tactics coming into play here, John. And we haven't said a great deal about the Moroccans, but they've got Bouradane, they've got Gumri. Gumri's a very fast athlete, but has a habit of dropping out of major championships. But they've got a good team here, the Moroccans, and they too have obviously decided that come the 15k point, it's time for an injection, and this is a declaration of intent.
They really have kicked on in front here. Whether Badai is in the sort of shape to maintain this, I don't know. He's looking over his shoulder thinking, oh, come on, let's have a bit of help. He's waiting for his two teammates just to go with him. He doesn't want to be isolated at this point, doesn't want to be on his own for any length of time, and he's wanting the two Moroccans behind him to close in and give him a hand.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, the way he really injected there, I'm not sure, maybe he got a little rush of blood to the head. You can see that the rest of the group, certainly the Kenyans running on the left-hand side, defending champion there. But
talking tactics, aren't they?
They certainly are, and I wonder whether he might pay for that come the end. I mean, he was virtually sprinting, albeit only for 100 metres or so.
Yeah, it's the classic thing, though, of going on the sprint up the hill. Remember the Japanese athlete who beat Paula Radcliffe in the Olympics in Athens? She poured on the pace at the hardest part of the course. The gongs being sounded, the fans being waved, and the field being stretched.
Yes, you can see the impact. Barmasai Tumo there is right up there at the front of that group, but most of the other East Africans and most of the rest of the field, rather, just starting to spread out now. That was a definite burst by the Moroccans, and look at the athletes back down the course, just struggling a little bit. That was the Romanian, Oniescu.
That's the Korean, Jun Hyun Hwang. He's well back off the lead. But it's Tumo Barmasai in front now for Kenya.
And the Moroccan has just buried himself back in the pack, so probing and pushing, but just settling back down into the group.
And this is right at the back of the field.
Yeah, Sanjay Wangchuk finished last in the marathon in Berlin in 2009, but he made it to the finish from Bhutan. He's got a best of 2:47 he ran that day in Berlin, and everybody waited for him at the finish line, so it might be a repeat for him at the back of the field this year. Will it be a repeat for Abel Kirui at the front of the field this year? But the Kenyans once again in a line at the front.
So could the Kenyans continue their domination of the long distance events? Rejoin us in a couple of minutes for the conclusion of the marathon. You're watching the marathon on the streets of Daegu. Defending champion Abel Kirui is leading. Let's rejoin John Rawling and Rob Walker.
I tell you what, John, he is a supreme performer, Abel Kirui, but this is early.
Yep, and he's not getting the support of his teammates anymore either. And Lalisa has not panicked, and he's staying with him. Little look over his shoulder to see where the two other Kenyans are. But Kirui, if he's going to continue at this pace, got a long way to go yet. We expect the winning time to be something like 2 hours 9, 2 hours 10. And if he's going to go on his own, that is going to be a pretty lonely task.
Yes, I just wonder, it's sometimes difficult to tell with the foreshortening of the head-on angle. I just wonder whether he's thought again, because it was a definitive break, but he'll be well aware that they haven't been completely dropped, and certainly Kipruto and Kiptanui are working together in third and fourth now. But that is his definitive break.
I think
running downhill, and
I think he's kicked again. I think he's kicked again. Going downhill there, and there was another injection of pace, and Kirui is stretching them once more, and the crowd realise that, they appreciate it, and listen to the reaction as the leader passes. They're loving this dominance of the Kenyans here over the distance events, and here is another wonderful distance runner in Abel Kirui, and he has kicked away, and Lalisa is really having to grit his teeth now as we go up this incline and try somehow to stay in contention.
The speed of his legs is incredible. Just to reiterate, the average man in the street would be sprinting right now to keep up with Abel Kirui. You see it better with the side-on angle, as you see the speed with which he's going past the crowds. He's absolutely motoring at the moment, and he still has well over half an hour of running to go. He must be feeling good, John, to be going this early.
I know we've said it earlier in the week, but it's worth restating the status which athletics has in East Africa, and especially in Kenya. All around that country, they'll be watching here and keeping fingers crossed, trying to get a view. It'll be being shown on Kenyan television, and this is massive national news, because this fella is going away in front. The gap is extending, and Lalisa is going back. and Kirui is looking now as though he is really making a decisive break. Look at the break now, look at the distance now. He has now gone away. It was 5 or 6 seconds, it's more now, and Kirui is going further and further clear, and now Lalisa has got a real struggle on his hands if he's going to continue to make a race of it.
It's Vincent Kipruto chasing, with Lalisa in third and Kiptanui in fourth. So maybe, and this is a slim chance, maybe their only opportunity is to work together to try and come back on Kirui, but he's looking so good. But an absolutely amazing performance, this. Just breathtaking.
Look at the distance he's put between himself and those pursuing now. It could quite literally be something like half a mile that he's in front now. That's just fabulous performance. Yeah, fabulous performance.
Absolutely incredible. Poetry in motion.
And there is the finish, and he moves now towards the completion of one of the great marathon performances. Victorious in Berlin 2 years ago, came here as the favourite to defend his title, and he is going to do so. They're here in thousands, and he feels comfortable enough to wave to the crowds, and he's still got a few hundred yards to go, looking over his shoulder to see if there's anybody there. He's looking to see if there's any sort of threats. He's been in the zone, he's not really looked around until now. Well, I don't think he can believe how far clear he is. He's running his own race, and he's run it quite magnificently, and he is the marathon champion, Abel Kirui. Today, one of the great marathons. He takes gold for Kenya.
That was one of the greatest major championship performances you will ever see, as he does the dance of delight on the finish line. A very special moment for a very special performance. Totally dominant Abel Kirui. A winning margin we have never seen before in World Championship history.
Kirui, 2 minutes 7.38. Vincent Kipruto, the silver medal, and Faisa Lalisa of Ethiopia in bronze medal position. Kirui, quite brilliant.
David Webb finishing 15th, which made him the third European, and a very respectable 22nd for Lee Merriam. This final evening session of the Championships will be starting in a little over 15 minutes. When we get back from the break, we'll be examining how the athletes prepare on race day.
Right, we're outside the athletes' village. It's race day, and today you're competing. So take us through what happens between now and getting onto the track.
We get up nice and early. I would have had my breakfast over there. My mind's already on the competition. It's time to go there. Let's get to the stadium.
Okay, so we're on the bus, we're on the coach. What's going through your mind?
You're trying to keep your mind quite clear because you've probably still got at least 2 hours so you're going to race.
Okay.
But the problem I've got, you're about to see your rivals for the first time. For all I know, someone I'm about to go battle with is sitting right there. So all the athletes will be here. This is a time when you're trying to compose yourself, you'll be listening to your music, and you'll be just trying to go through your race in your mind, but not too much. You know, you don't want to burn up too much nervous energy right now. Okay. But as I said, if you're looking around and one of your big rivals is here, then you might almost want to sit tall, you know, you might be, pump the chest out a bit. You know, the mind games actually start here.
Now, we're outside the warm-up track. We're not allowed in because we don't have the right credentials, so it's a very important zone, right?
It is. I mean, this is a place where certainly you are now seeing your rivals for the first time, and if you're not seeing your rivals, say you've come down a bit early, you will be seeing other athletes warm up. So your head is properly on the game now. This is when the butterflies kick in. Yeah. Although you may have at least another hour and a half, 2 hours to compete, you know by seeing that blue warm-up track, you're here to race in that big track over there. It's an hour till you're going to compete. Yep. You've done your warm-up. Yep. You've been through call room 1. At that stage, the officials are checking your numbers, they've taken your music, they've taken your phone. You are so alone. Your coach is gone, your physio's gone, it's just you and the 7 people you're about to do battle with.
Okay.
Then you go to this bad boy. This is when the nerves are really going, the last call room 2. Now believe it or not, although the next call room isn't very far, you're a fit athlete, but
you don't walk it.
You don't walk it because your legs feel really heavy already. That's part of the nerves. And psychologically, you don't want to walk any further or use any more energy than you need to. So at this stage, you're going to be sitting in these buggies with the people you're about to race. Very bizarre, very bizarre.
Yeah. So it's really cranking up the tension, isn't it?
It is. You know, as I said, this is my game is from happening. Like, you might be one of those athletes who like to keep himself to himself. I could be a Usain Bolt who wants to be in your face, like, you know, giving it all the, you know, and all of that, you know. And this is a time when, honestly, you really want to get in the zone.
Right. It's all about focus.
It's focus. You're about to take the biggest race of your life in front of 60 or 1,000 people. The nerves are really. Actually, honestly, I'm nervous now, just reminiscing. Honestly, my heart is thumping because this feels so real. Because where we are right now, we shouldn't even be here. This is purely for the athletes, and this is where their minds now will either be, I'm at the World Championships. You get 2 types of athletes. You get someone who will rise to the occasion and feel really confident, or you might get a little scared athlete. Oh my goodness, I'm at a World Championships. You don't want to be that athlete. You want to be this athlete. Come on then, call room 2. I'm going to rock it. You've got seats, but they won't be busy. You'll have a few people sitting down, but most athletes will be jutting around, strutting their stuff, because from here, Otis, from here, we race.
Okay, so we're finally on the track. How are you feeling?
Hopefully confident. It can be quite daunting. I mean, this is a huge arena, but listen, you're here because you're prepared. Start time. The long process is over. All the thinking's been done. Time for talking's over. Only one journey left. One lap of that track as fast as you can. You've got to win gold. Good luck.
Welcome back to Daegu. I've got used to sitting next to one world beater, and now I'm thrilled to say Michael and I are joined by another, Di Green, the golden boy of British athletics, world champion. 3 days on, has it sunk in?
To be honest, it hasn't. We're sort of trapped in this little bubble here in the village. I'm rooming with a few of the guys I train with back home and a boy I went to uni with, so it's very much just enjoying ourselves out here. We're not, hasn't really sunk in what we've achieved yet over here, and I can't wait to see the press cuttings when I get back.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of them as well.
I think there are.
Have you been out to celebrate yet?
I went out a few nights ago, but it didn't get too rowdy because obviously we're travelling back in a few days, so we've got to get up early, so I don't want to get too carried away.
Let's take another look at the race, just because I can't get enough of it, basically. So here you are in lane 6. So tell us about it from your point of view.
Well, I wanted to go off nice and fast, I did, and I felt I did that, but I think I was a little bit too slow on the top end, to be honest, but for me personally, I felt I could win from anywhere out there, so it didn't really matter. As long as I was in contention coming in the home straight, I always believed I could win it. And
were you concerned by how quickly Van Zyl went out?
No, I always knew he'd go out a little bit faster, and I just always felt that he wasn't quite as fit as me. And 3 races in 4 days takes it out of some of these guys, and I always know that the strongest would survive, and I always believed I was going to be stronger than them.
At this stage, presumably you can see Coulson in your peripheral vision.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was mine until I took the last hurdle, and once I took the last hurdle, I took it so well that I had lots of momentum when I came off, and I knew it was there for me. It was there for me to snatch.
Michael Johnson, a quick word on this young man.
I was just wondering, just in terms of training. I mean, how's your training gone this year? Is there anything that you changed, because you've been so consistent this year, and the hurdles have been really tough? Is there anything that you changed from last year just to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, it's been my second year. It has with my current coach. We did change things a lot from 2010. And I think we'll change things a little bit more for this year. And I wanted to be running faster a lot earlier, and obviously I've done that during the season. But I've managed to maintain my form throughout, and that's always a good sign. It is, because you see a lot of guys peak too soon and then drop off. But this is what counts. This is what I train for all year round. Just this one championships.
Well, you peaked at the right time, and next year is going to be an important year. So you've learned some great lessons from this year, right?
Indeed, I couldn't have asked for a better season this year, and it's going to give me a lot of confidence going into next year, which is the big one. It's just one more medal now to complete the set.
It really is, and what a set it'll be. What's the reaction been like back home? Have you heard much?
Yeah, I've spoken to my parents and my girlfriend as well, and I've had so many messages on Twitter, on Facebook, and it's unreal. It is. My phone just doesn't stop buzzing. It doesn't, and even with the time change, I'm getting loads of texts during the day. I'm very thankful for all that, and it's nice to be appreciated for the hard work I've put in.
We can have a look at you in the medal ceremony now. What a moment this must have been for you.
Yeah, it's very, very proud. You train all year, you imagine yourself on top of the podium. You don't imagine getting the silver or the bronze, and when it comes true, it's a great feeling. There's nothing else compares to watching that flag and hearing the anthem play. And the medals are pretty heavy as well, to be honest. Quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a couple of times, myself and Michael. I mean, they've really got those medals big now, haven't they?
It is, it's superb. It's got my name on it, it's got my event, and it's got my winning time as well. It's fantastic, and yeah, I can't wait to show people back home, really.
Yeah, it's got everything you want on there. It really has.
It has. It's superb. It's superb.
You now obviously join a very illustrious group of British world champions in phenomenal company, really. When you think about, you're the first man on the track to win since Colin Jackson in '99, I think. We can have a look here. It must feel amazing to be included in that company.
Yeah, there's some big names in that list. I didn't realise I was joined with such company, but I've worked very hard to get to where I am, and I get a lot of appreciation from these guys as well, and it's great earning their respect, because they obviously set the standard, and someone like me obviously just wants to emulate what they achieved.
You see there's a little gap down in that bottom right corner. Do you reckon we can squeeze another couple of names on there this evening?
Well, obviously Phillips' name's already on there, so you won't have to put his name on again, but I'd like to think Mo Farah could sneak on tonight.
Yeah. Massive thanks and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Di Green. I don't want to jinx it, I really don't, but there is a definite possibility of more British gold tonight. Philip Sidowu stands a hop, skip and a jump away from retaining his world triple jump title. If he can put those three phases together, we could be looking at a second gold medal of these championships for GB. Action gets underway very shortly at 11:05 UK time. At 20:12, Mo Farah will take to the track for the 5,000 metres final. He's run faster this year than anyone else in the field, but has he got enough left in the tank after that heroic display in last Sunday's 10,000? Sadly, no Jenny Meadows in the women's 800 metres final, but South African Caster Semenya, the fastest qualifier from the semis, finally looks back to something like her best. That race goes off at 12:15. And we all get one last chance to watch Usain Bolt do his thing, but this time with his countrymen. Yes, it's the heats and the finals of the men's and women's 4x1. Women's heats begin at 10:30 with our girls in heat 2. Expect tears aplenty. Then the men are on the track at 11 with our boys in the third and final heat. And those 4x1 finals will round off these World Championships with the women's final at 25:1 and the men's final at 1 o'clock your time. Not a bad menu for Sunday lunch. And just to reiterate, here are tonight's timings. The women's hammer final has just got underway. Then at 10:30, the women's 4x1 relay, round 1, followed at 11 by the men's 4x1 relay. Then at 11:05, the men's triple jump final, 11:40, the men's 5,000 metres final, 12:15, the women's 800, and then the 4x1 finals to conclude the evening. Let's get to it now and go straight over to Rob Walker in commentary.
Thanks, Rick. Good evening, everybody. The very last night of athletics here in what's already been a memorable championship. The women's hammer, Betty Heidler, the new world record holder. She's up against the defending champion, Вечer Ch from Poland. And Tatiana Lysenko has thrown the second furthest distance in the world this year. And how about Yipsy Moreno, the Cuban, been around for such a long time and is always in the mix. The Cubans still yet to get their first gold of this World Championship. And watching alongside me on this atmospheric evening is Catherine Merry.
Thank you, Rob. This is Tatiana Lysenko from Russia, the world number 2, taking to the circle in this final women's field event of the Daegu World Championships. The former world record holder has gone out to over 75 metres in 2011. She likes it. She stamps the right foot. And that is a wonderful opening throw from Lysenko. The season's best of 75 meters and 70. She stood so tall, and the speed just increased as she did all the rotations. And she gave it a good yell. I think she's going to have put down a good marker here in the first round to put the pressure on the other athletes. 76 meters and 80, a season's best for the Russians. So far, so good. So, Anita Wlodarczyk of Poland, the defending world champion. She did hold the world record, and at her best has gone out over 78 meters. She's seen what the Russians done. What response has she got? Well, it's not going to be as far as the world number 2. And Wlodarczyk wasn't as quick across the circle with the 4K hammer. But the gauntlet has really been thrown down here in the early rounds by Lysenko. 73 meters and 56.
Here's Bianca Pieri, the Romanian, 4th in the European Championships last year. Big roar. Oh, she's some way down of what she's capable of there. But I tell you what, Kath, if this final is half as good as the women's javelin, then we really are in for a cracker. We've got the top 7 throwers in the world this year through to this final, and maybe they can just find something special, as the girls did in the javelin. But Pieri will not be happy with that. She's capable of much further.
Well, the women's javelin was superb here, as was the women's high jump last night. Both of those competitions turned into head-to-head battles. Will this women's hammer final develop into a head-to-head battle between the current world record holder and the former one, and of course the defending champions in here as well? Silvia Saleth from Italy. Well, she won the Mediterranean Games back in 2009. In good form though in 2011. Gone out to 71 meters and 93. A high swing to get good rotation. And good speed as well. A little ooh from the crowd as it flies out over the 65-meter line. Well, it's not going to challenge Lysenko's lead of 76 meters and 80. And the Italian has got a marker in the first round here, but currently in 5th with a distance of 68 meters and 61.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching this woman throw. Yipsy Moreno, the world champion in Edmonton and Paris, double Olympic silver medalist, and silvers in Helsinki and Osaka. And she qualified with the biggest throw of the competition. I just wonder, could she secure Cuba's first gold of these championships on the last day, Kath?
Well, I'm waiting for the walnut whip. Every time she enters the circle, there we go. She didn't let me down, did Marino? Going through the throw in her mind. Athletes, they strive on routine, and a lot of us, we strive on superstition. Whatever works. What's the Cuban got then in the first round? Well, it didn't technically look the best throw, slightly over-rotating on the final rotation in the circle. But it's landed just shy of that 75-meter line. Oh, she was the best of the qualifiers here. She went out to 73 meters and 29 centimeters to get into this final. And as you say, Rob, such is her championship record, you expect her to be a contender. 4th at the moment, though, 73 meters and 29.
Here we come then with the first of 3 heats in the women's 4x1. Only the first 2 guaranteed to go through here. And we have the Jamaicans in lane 2. The defending champions also got the gold 20 years ago in Tokyo. They have such a history as far as the sprint relay is concerned. And Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce leads off for them. Missed out on the medal in the individual 100 metres. There's the Brazilian, Ana Claudia Silva, South American record holder. So we're Colombia on the inside, Jamaica, Brazil. And Miriam Soumaré, European champion over 200 metres. The French have brought their A-team to the party, and they provided one of the great highlights of the Paris World Championships, that their only gold in this event. Spanish quartet, brought home by Ruth Baitier, the high jumper. She came 8th in that final. Then the Japanese. Could be a tough minute or so for them, but they'll go out hard. And out in 7, the Chinese. So we have we missed Colombia on the inside. They're in 1, Jamaica in 2, Brazil 3. The French have got their A-team out. They definitely want a hand on a place in the final. Spain in 5, Japan 6, and China in 7. Kath, the Jamaicans, such a strong quartet.
They are, and you think they can bring in Veronica Campbell-Brown possibly on the last leg for that final in 2 hours' time. Should be an interesting heat. Not as tough as heat 2, but as we all know with relays, that little stick has got to get all the way round.
It's all about the speed of the baton through the box. Jamaica, the defending champions, in lane 2. We would expect a lightning quick start from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. It's her trademark.
Set.
Now, who was that? I was watching Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, but let's have a look. Well, it's hard to tell from that angle. Drama here, Kath.
Well, when you're in a team with 4 athletes, you have a big responsibility. You do not want to be the person that gets your team disqualified in a team event like the relay.
Well, I thought I heard the announcer say something about the athletes in lane 7. There is a red card coming up for the Chinese quartet. And that is such a shame. So the Chinese are disqualified, and their bid for a place in the final is over before it's even started. Pretty obvious from that angle, Kath.
I think it was. Still 6 in this race, though. First heat, women's 4x1.
So as the Chinese disconsolately walk off the track, watch for Jamaica in 2 and France in 4.
Set.
This time they are away, so can Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce use that trademark start? Soumaré's gone out brilliantly for France. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce now going through the chase. The Japanese going well as they roar their way down the back straight. Stewart for Jamaica going well. So the big guns are there. Bit of a sloppy changeover for the Jamaican quartet. Now they're coming through. The class is beginning to show. Simpson will go to Levy, and France are clear in 2nd place. The Brazilians are trying to chase them down, but it will be Jamaica from France, and Brazil will have to wait to see if they go through as fastest losers. Some suspect changeovers there from the Jamaicans. Their speed helped them make up for it, Kath, but they'll need to be sharper than that in the final.
Well, the heat is about many things, and ultimately it's about qualifying. The changeover marks will be reviewed and possibly stretched out for the final, and what I mean by that is the baton has to travel as fast as possible, and more risk will possibly be taken for the final. That baton, of course, must be passed between the 20-metre changeover zone. And Jamaica there, Levy on the last leg. Well, we're expecting Veronica Campbell-Brown to come in for her in the final, which would make the Jamaicans even stronger than that.
Yes, the new world champion over 200 metres. Well, that was the fastest time in the world this year. Let's have a look at this second changeover. The Jamaicans there, a little bit sloppy, and they will need to work on that. Veronique Mang brought the French team home in a season's best. And there was an area record for the Brazilians in third. But the defending champions are safely through that final. The second last event on the track this evening. Confirmation then, the Jamaicans with that world-leading time. The French came through for second. The Brazilians, with that area record, will have to wait to see if they go through as fastest losers.
Hammer final continues. Betty Heidler from Germany, the world leader and the new world record holder. A no-throw in a first round. So she'd have seen Lysenko take the lead. Well, the flight was good, but it's dropping below the 75-metre line. Her world record, incidentally, that she did this year, 79 metres and 42. And she's basically nearly 4 metres further in the world this year than any other athlete. She hasn't started well. She needs to pick up her A game here, does the German. So the European champion, 73 metres and 96, currently in third.
Into the second heat of the 4x100 metres relay, and Great Britain here. Starting in lane 4. It's a bit of a loaded heat though. Trinidad and Tobago, always good, strong Polish team. Russia, who are sure to go well, and Australia with Sally Pearson on the anchor leg. Well, Great Britain's order, Tiffany Porter is going to be on lead-off. She was 4th in the hurdles yesterday, maybe only deprived of a medal by wrapping the penultimate hurdle. Anika Onora, who set a personal best here, she'll be on the second leg. Then it'll be Laura Turner. She went out in the heats of the 100 metres, and Janet Quatchi will be on the anchor leg. She went out in the semis of the 100 metres. They've got a lot to do here. Trinidad and Tobago have got Kellyanne Baptiste on the second leg, a bronze medalist in the 100 metres. Poland, the European bronze medalists, sure to be strong. Russia have got a decent team. Australia, and we're still loving that performance of Sally Pearson. And there is that British quartet I was telling you about. Tiffany Porter on lead-off. On to Anika Onora, Laura Turner and Jeanette Quatchi. Ukraine on the outside, they've got a decent side as well. Alessia Pove, the European indoor champion at 60 metres on the lead-off, and a finalist from the 200 metres, Christina Stewie, is on the anchor leg. So, technique, drilling, practice, all vital. Number one priority, you've got to get that baton round.
You have, and the Great Britain and Northern Ireland team in both men's and women's 4x100 metre relays do practice. A lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money is put into the relay squads. We're always in with a shout of a medal, and we have been disappointed, of course, many times, but let's hope not in the men's and the women's events here, as the Korean athletes understandably get a warm reception from the decent crowd here tonight at the stadium for the final night of athletics. And the British team, as you say, John, this is a tough heat. First 2 and 2 fastest advance to the final. And as you say, in lane 2 here, Trinidad and Tobago have a strong team, as do Russia in lane 5 and the Ukraine in lane 7.
Time is vital as well in this one. We've already seen the Brazilians in the first heat won by the Jamaicans wonderfully well. They were in 3rd place, 42.92. 42.92 for the Jamaicans. 42.92 for the Brazilians. 42.92 for the Jamaicans. 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 42. First two will qualify as of right, plus 2 fastest losers. Poles with Anna Kielbasinska on the lead-off leg, and there is Great Britain with Tiffany Porter. It's a wonderful night here in the 5th round. Look at that skyline. Beautiful conditions for athletics, as dramatic as what we hope is going to unfold on the track. Russians in lane 5, Yulia Grishina, semi-finalist in the 200 metres, she's on lead-off. Starting in 6th, the Australians, there's Hayley Butler. Handing on to Melissa Breen, Charlotte Van Wienendaal, and then Sally Pearson on the anchor leg. And finally, in lane 7, here's Alessia Pove on the lead-off for Ukraine, European indoor champion. It is a tough heat, this one, Kath, really is.
Well, that Ukraine team there is very strong, because 3 out of 4 of the athletes for them here in lane 7 were part of the European team, champions last year in Barcelona. This is going to be tough for the British team, so let's hope for a good lead-off leg by the fast-starting Tiffany Porter.
On your marks.
Fantastic conditions for athletics tonight. Now the second heat of the 4x100 metres relay for women.
Set.
Second heat underway, and the look-see has gone out well. It looks as though Pove of the Ukraine has made a great start. Also, the Russian Gashina, and they go down the back straight and on the inside in lane 2. Watch for Trinidad and Tobago, because this is now Kellyanne Baptiste, the individual bronze medalist. On the outside, the Ukrainians are flying, and Britain are being left behind. Trinidad, a terrific second leg from Kellyanne Baptiste onto Samoy Hackett. Around the bend they come, and Trinidad on lane 2. On the outside, it's the Ukrainians. Who's going to have the best changeover? And it's the Trinidadians in lane 2 with Michelle Lee Ahi, and coming late it's the Russians. Can they deny the Ukrainians? That would be a big upset, but it's going to be Trinidad and Tobago win. Second place Ukraine, third place Russia, Britain back in 5th place. They won't make it through into the final. A winning time 42.51 seconds. An absolute lightning second leg from Kellyanne Baptiste, and the Trinidadians were not going to give that away. They kept their form together well, decent changeovers. Ukraine on the outside, we might have expected a little bit more from them. In the end, pushed very hard by the Russians, and it's a national record for Trinidad and Tobago.
We knew that was going to be an extremely tough heat for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and it proved so. This, the final changeover. Well, you can see Trinidad and Tobago. Hackett had a storm around the bend, didn't she? And really didn't give her teammate much to do on the final leg, apart from hold on and bring it home safely. A big battle there, you see, between Russia and the Ukraine for that second automatic qualifying spot. And Jeanette Quatchy brings the British team home. I think you can see on her face there, she doesn't look very comfortable at all, actually, coming home, Jeanette Quatchy. It was always going to be tough, and unfortunately, that's our A team at the moment for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but unfortunately, they go out.
The Trinidadians improving their national record by a margin of almost 3/4 of a second. European champions Ukraine going through. Russia could make it as fastest losers. Great Britain, I'm afraid, go out.
Women's hammer continues. Tatiana Lysenko, the current gold medalist. Well, you see she threw 76 meters and 80 in the first round. No one else troubled her. So she comes into the second round in a wonderful position, does the former world record holder. That looks a bit better. The trademark stamp's there, which means it's good. And well, that solid yellow line was her first round throw. She has surpassed that. Well, she's arrived into this final in wonderful form. Betty Heidler of Germany, the world leader and the world record holder, It's one of the biggest favourites at this championships. But the Russian, well, 77 metres and 9 increases her season's best.
Here we go then with the last heat of the 4x1. The two fastest losers, Russia and Brazil at the moment. All eyes on the United States in lane number 1. They won in Helsinki and Osaka, but it all went wrong 2 years ago with Moona Lee having an injury on the third leg. No Felix, no Jetta, so they're obviously feeling confident. Bianca Knight going lead leg for them, Shalonda Solomon. The Bahamas outside them in 2. They got the silver medal 2 years ago. Belarus in 3, and Nigeria go in lane number 4. They'll fancy their chances. Switzerland in 5, Germany 6, and the Netherlands in 7. Last heat of the 4x1. First 2 to go through by rights.
Set.
So, can Knight make up any ground on Shanique Ferguson? Going well, the Nigerians. Asimnani, now, watch for the changeovers. Bit sloppy from the Netherlands. Now watch the Americans come with Shalonda Solomon. Also still going well, the Nigerians, Osayomi. And on the outside, the Dutch, a brilliant leg by Daphne Shippers. There's been a faller there. That was the Bahamas who fell, coming through on the inside. It's America from Nigeria and the Netherlands with another sloppy changeover. But the Americans home and away, clear on the inside. The Nigerians did really well to come through for second. 41.95, the fastest time of the night, of the year so far. And they've laid down a marker without their two top performers. Disaster for the Bahamas, they fell on the back straight, but that was pretty impressive by the Americans, the fastest time in the world this year, and we have a cracking final in prospect, Michael Johnson.
Yeah, and it wasn't a particularly fast leg by Bianca Knight who led it off, but the rest of the other 3 athletes did their job here. Very nice miss on the first handoff, but got it right on the second handoff on that third exchange. But that's Alexandra Anderson on the anchor leg with a great lead ahead of the Nigerian team. Second, third, and fourth legs really did it for them. They were about even after that first exchange from Bianca Knight, who got a great start. She's a very good 100-meter runner, not the best bend runner, but she is a good starter. But she didn't really make a dent at all on that first leg, and they exchanged about even on the second. But then Marshavette Myers on the third leg was, yeah, there you go. That wasn't the best handoff there. But the second leg was a good one and put them back in it. And then the third exchange to Marshavette Myers on the third, a very good bend runner, good 100 and 200-meter sprinter. This one, they'll miss on the first. But if you miss on the first one, you've got to keep that hand steady on the outgoing runner, which Alexandra Anderson did. And they were able to come in with the fastest time in the world this year. They're very well set up for the final. And it'll be interesting to see if they bring in Allison Felix and Carmelita Jeter.
Well, confirmation there. A very fast time for the Americans. Nigeria take the second spot, and despite a national record, no place for the Netherlands in the final. The fastest loser spots go to Russia and Brazil. Confirmation of the qualifiers for the final of the women's 4x1. It should be an absolute cracker, and maybe, well, maybe the world record, 41.37. Well, you never know. The Jamaicans are certainly going to run the United States very close indeed.
Betty Heidler from Germany. It's the third round. She's currently in bronze medal position. This wasn't where we expected this athlete to be. Now the world record holder is peppering that 75-meter line. 73 meters and 96 in the second round has her in that bronze medal position. But when you've thrown nearly 79.5 meters this season, this event's clear favorite was the German. And the 27-year-old is currently still in third position, 74 metres and 70, an improvement. So Lysenko from Russia, her third attempt. The event leader with a 77 metres and 9 throw. And she's getting better and better here this evening. She started with 76 metres and 80 in the first round. That was a season's best. She improved it to 77 metres and 9 in the second round. So at the moment, the world number 2 is in the pole position, 77 metres and 13, another season's best, and she extends her lead over the rest of this field just a little bit more. So there's Wen Zhejiang of China. She's currently in the silver medal position with a first round throw of 75 metres and 3 centimetres. Jennifer Dahlgren of Argentina, the South American record holder. 68 metres and 27 in the first round, currently in 11th. Long turns, slower turns, really making the use of the long levers there. Well, she's going to have to improve, because she's got to get into the top 8 here. 69 metres and 99. Is currently in 8th position in this women's hammer throw final. 69 metres and 72 then. Well, after those 3 throws, the Argentinian was her best throw of the night, but is in 10th position. So, Wlodarczyk, the defending world champion, the former world record holder, 26 years old now, and just last year through 78 metres and 30. Well, if she could pull a distance like that out of the bag tonight, she'd actually take the lead by well over a metre. Currently in 4th position, not in the medals as we stand. Season's best in the first round of 73 metres and 56. She needs over a metre to get herself into a medal position. Well, she's approaching the 75-metre line. Could be a slight improvement for the Polish athlete. But as it stands, the defending champion is not on the rostrum. Good flight on the hammer. But 72 metres and 61, she's still in 4th.
Medal ceremony here, and perhaps the outstanding performance of the entire Games. Sally Pearson of Australia, absolutely wonderful last night, near flawless hurdling, 12.28, and close, not far off a world record. Put a 4th on the all-time list, and a fabulous performance from Pearson. Well, we move now, our attention's on the track to the 4x100 metres relay, first round. First 2 plus 2 fastest losers, as in the women's race, and there are the athletes in competition here, only 2 to qualify as of right. And there in the United States, Trell Kimmons on the lead-off leg. He's going to be handing on to a former champion, Justin Gatlin, Maurice Mitchell, and Travis Paget, who's run 9.89, is in Tyson Gay's group. So this is the lineup: France in 1, Portugal 2, Brazil 3, the South American champions. Lane 4, Ghana, who've got Tim Abey, a Woodford Green athlete, former British athlete, on the second leg. And the United States in 5, Switzerland in lane 6, and Chinese Taipei in lane 7. Should be an easy job, this, for the United States, if they can get the baton round.
Set.
United States already going well, eating up ground on the athletes outside them. Ghanaians trying to go with them. The Brazilian in lane 3 has run decent first leg, but now down the back straight. Look at Justin Gatlin, he's flying, moving really well, and the inside, that was Christophe Lemaitre for the French, and the French are up in contention on the inside, but it's the United States who are well clear. Maurice Mitchell handing on to Travis Paget, and on the inside, the Frenchman Jimmy Vico. There's a faller, the handover, but it's a long way clear, the United States. The French are coming through in second place. The Brazilians will have to wait and see if they can qualify as fastest losers. It's the quickest time in the world this year, Michael. Quickest time in the world this year.
Yeah, and very crisp handoffs. They've got a lot of speed on this team. Very nice handoffs. They did safe handoffs. They didn't get too aggressive. They'll get a little more aggressive with the handoffs and exchanges. You see actually Travis Paget there on the ankle leg taking a little bit of a look around just to make sure he had it. They had such a lead that he could afford to do that. Once they get in the final, they will have to be a little bit more crisp and a little bit more aggressive with the handoff, so they'll actually stretch it out a little bit more on the zone. Off the leadoff leg, Trell Kimmons got a very good start, put him in great position from the very beginning. They knew this was the prelims. This is the easy part with France on the inside of him there. They knew they had to get it around. That was the most important thing for this round, getting the baton around safely. Nice, quick, crisp handoff there to Justin Gatlin. Gatlin disappointed to not be in that 100-meter final, ran a very quick second leg. Let's take a look at this second exchange here. Just a little bit off on that one, but they could afford to do that to Maurice Mitchell. Mitchell ran a nice bend here and just extended that lead they already had. Nobody else in this field could really stay with them. And here they know they've got this thing won. Now it's just make sure that you don't make the mistake that the U.S. has made so many times in the past. Travis Paget taking a very safe handoff there. Everyone's celebrating. What those guys are celebrating is getting that baton around safely and in the zone.
And as well, Michael, important to point out, Walter Dix still to come in to the team for the final later on.
Absolutely, Walter Dix will certainly come into this. He's had a very busy week with preliminaries and elimination rounds in the 100 meters and then 200 meters as well, where he ran 1/100th of a second off of his personal best yesterday to hang on to Usain Bolt and bring home the silver medal. So this team will be faster in the final.
That is a terrific changeover, and a baton goes down there. That was Switzerland out of the action. Impressive, though, the United States. And there's confirmation of the result. World leading time, 37.79. France also qualify. The others wait and see. The triple jump about to go. And this, of course, a great moment for Great Britain. And here are the competitors who are up against Philippe Sidowu, including Christian Olsen, at one stage emphatically world #1. Cheryl El Sharif is in good form. Christian Taylor, the American, he's one to watch. But Philippe Sidowu, he's the defending champion. And there he is, being introduced to the crowd. 17:59. That's his season's best. If he can get close to that personal best, he could be on for a gold.
Here we go with the second heat of the men's 4x1. Right on the outside, the defending champions, the world record holders, Jamaica, going without Usain Bolt. He is still to come in the final. And the silver medalists in the Olympics 3 years ago and in Berlin 2 years ago, Trinidad and Tobago, they go in lane 4. China go in 1, St Kitts and Nevis in 2, Germany 3, Japan 5, South Africa 6, Puerto Rico 7, and Jamaica headed off by Nesta Carter, disappointed with 7th in the 100 metres final. Then they've got Freighter, silver medalist 6 years ago. Johan Blake, the new world champion on the third leg, and two-time world junior champion Dexter Lee goes on the anchor leg for Jamaica, Ewan Thomas.
Not a bad team, considering it's not their strongest. Obviously, as I said, Usain Bolt will come in. He tweeted about an hour ago saying, I'm going down the track to get this relay done. He's going to run quick. He's up for it.
Well, his teammates, first of all, have got to make sure they get the baton round safely. Trinidad and Tobago in 4, Jamaica on the outside in lane number 8. That's the Germans, led off by Tobias Unger, the German record holder. They're in 3.
Set.
So Nestor Carter explodes out of his blocks. Keston Bledman of Trinidad looking for a fast start, and the Jamaican has already taken ground out of the Puerto Ricans on his inside. Solid changeover for the Jamaicans, and now on the second leg, Mark Burns for Trinidad. The Japanese going well. Now, another good changeover from the Japanese. Trinidad coming through on the inside, South Africa going well. So, Jamaicans on the outside. Trinidad have that baton safely through, and it's Japan and South Africa for 3rd and 4th coming through on the inside, St Kitts, but Trinidad and Tobago lead home Jamaica. St Kitts and Nevis come home in 3rd place. It's not as quick as the Americans ran in the first heat, and despite a disappointing individual championship for the Trinidad and Tobago sprinters, their quartet is looking sharp. But remember, the Jamaicans still have Usain Bolt to bring in for the final, Ewan Thomas.
They certainly do, and who knows how fast that crazy man can run on that last leg. It doesn't really matter for Jamaicans, they didn't win the qualification. As long as they're through to the final, that's what it's about, get safely through and bring out the big guns later on this evening. But very safe changeovers there.
Disappointment for the Germans. You could just see them in the back of shot. They failed to get the baton from the 3rd to the 4th athlete. Richard Thompson bringing Trinidad home. He was so disappointing in the individual 100 metres. Set that new national record for Trinidad. But let's have a look at the Jamaican changeovers, Ewan.
First leg, obviously on the outside, doing your own thing, running very hard. It's all about getting that baton round as fast as you can. It doesn't matter how fast the 4 individuals are. We saw that in the Olympics in 2004. Great Britain became the champions, but they weren't the fastest 4 runners. But on that day, they got the baton round safely, and that's what it's all about, the speed of the baton, not the individuals. But as you can see, good safe changes there. Top bend. The Jamaicans, whoever they're going to put out, they're always going to have fast sprinters. But as we said, we've got Bolt to come. That's going to be very interesting.
National record for St Kitts and Nevis, finishing in 3rd place. But there is Dexter Lee, the 2-time World Junior Champion. Now, how about this? The man in the centre of your picture, watching his teammates. What do you make of that, Ewan?
I make a very relaxed Usain Bolt. He's actually having a giggle there. If he's laughing at his team's misfortune for not winning, I don't know. But obviously he's pleased they got through. But how relaxed is he? He's sitting around his teammates and his friends there, and it's a bit of fun.
Jamaica safely through to the final.
Great Britain in the 3rd relay heat shortly, but before that, triple jump action with Dean Macy.
Over on the far side of the track, Nelson Avora to kick this triple jump men's final off. 2008 Beijing Olympic champion. Remember, he beat Philip Sadawu to that one. He won the World Championships in 2007. And just before he come to this championships, he jumped 17.31 in the World Student Games to take that title. So definitely a danger man to Phillips. Nice and smooth through his phases. And a fair distance over that 17-metre mark. He jumped 17.20 in the qualifying round to automatically qualify. Gets the white flag. And this guy knows how to compete. He knows how to turn it on when it matters. And tonight, it matters. Concentration on his face. Very, very smooth jumper all the way through his phases. Double arm shift on that last phase into the jump. 17.35, a season's best. He's in form.
Back on the track, and the next heat of the 4x100 metres relay. Great Britain have got lane 5, Christian Malcolm on lead-off, Craig Pickering, Marlon Devonish, Harry Akins, Arite, and Christian Malcolm, British team captain, desperately disappointed with his individual showing in the 200 metres, eliminated in the semi-finals. He'll be on a mission here. Great Britain, decent team. They've got to get into the first 2, Ewan.
They certainly do, and they are a decent team. As I said, we are Olympic champions in the past, but as we see time and time again in these relays, it's all about safety and getting that baton around as fast as we can.
Full lineup: lane 1 Korea, in 2 Netherlands, lane 3 will be Australia, in 4 Poland, in lane 5 Great Britain, lane 6 decent Canadian team with Sam Effar, the Canadian champion, on the lead-off leg for them. Thailand go in lane 7, and out in lane 8 it's the Italians with Michael Toomey there on the lead-off leg. Great Britain: Malcolm, Craig Pickering on the second leg, Marlon Devonish as ever running the second bend, and Harry Akins-Arite on the anchor. As confirmation of that lineup, Marlon Devonish holds the record for World Championship medals in this event. He's got 5 in total, including bronzes in 2005, 2007 and 2009. Holds the record for World Championship medals.
Set.
So Christian Malcolm on the lead-off leg, and let's hope these changeovers are as good as on occasion they have been in the past. Craig Pickering will take the second leg. The changeover's beautiful, smooth as silk, down the back straight. The Italians doing well on the outside, but Britain, it's gone well so far, and Pickering will hand over to Marlon Devonish. There goes Devonish, 200-metre specialist. On the outside, the Italians really flying, Emmanuel Di Gregorio, and in the inside, Poland just heading Great Britain, and now Harry Akins-Arite has got to run a terrific anchor leg. He's up against the Canadians and the Poles, and he's coming through. He's going to do this one. Victory for Great Britain, Poland in second, Italy on the outside, and Great Britain, Harry Akins-Arite had a bit to do on that anchor leg, but he found what was necessary. 38.29, not as quick as the earlier heats, but the changeovers were good, and they've done what's necessary.
I can breathe. They've got it around. Thank goodness, safe changeovers. It wasn't as fast as you say as the previous heats, but here we see the last leg. Harry takes a baton, and he's a very strong, powerful athlete, and he needs to run down the Polish athlete, because let's be honest, he's going to be up against faster athletes come the final, but a great qualification.
Did really well then. Good second bend from Marlon Devonish as well, and the Poles just getting through in second place, and Italy, early leaders, faded on the last 2 legs. This is the first changeover. Talk us through this one, Ewan.
That's Christian Malcolm running the first leg. He's a very good bend runner, obviously a 200-metre specialist. Here's Craig Pickering, a very good changeover, very good indeed. Now the second leg is a long leg. This is a long way down the back straight. Craig's a strong runner. You can see he's really pumping that upper body. He shouts hand. Marlon takes it. Top bend, we know Marlon's a good bend runner. The Polish athlete though, Polish athlete ran very well on that top bend. There you see again Marlon clearly shouting hand. That's the direction, that's the cue for Harry to put his hand out. He doesn't look around, he takes it, he's concentrating. I think actually he glances over in a minute. He gets past the Polish athlete. Very strong guy, looks across, he knows he's done enough. They're through. Come on guys, let's have a good final.
Well, good drilling by the British squad. They were really nice and tight there. Those handovers are excellent. There's the result of that heat. Great Britain and Poland going through. Great Britain, 4th fastest qualifiers. And we can bring you the heat of the result rather of the previous heat. Trinidad and Tobago 37.91, Jamaica 38.07, but of course Usain Bolt still to come. And an update on the first heat, because Brazil have been disqualified. So United States 37.79, France also qualified.
Medal ceremony, marathon man.
First round for Phillips Adewu, trying to do what no British athlete has ever done and successfully defend a world title. The lead, Nelson Navora, 17.35 at the moment, but Phillips is definitely in shape. He qualified with 17.17 in the qualifying, but he was a long way behind the board. Now come on Phillips, post one. It's good. It's well over 17 metres. It's well over that solid yellow line. He gives it a yes, and that could well be a gold medal jump for Phillips Adawu in the first round. Aston Moore's coach stands straight up. My word. We said earlier on that 1750 will definitely medal. Wow, he is short on the board. 19 centimetres to give away. The wind over there is swirling a little bit. We've seen minus and plus winds in the first few jumps. But look at that. He knows straight away. He nailed every single phase. He said he didn't push through his second two phases in the qualifying, and 1756 into the lead, and that will be very, very tough to beat. Aston Moore always looking for a few more centimetres, but Phillips, you have put the rest of the field under pressure.
Confirmation of the qualifiers for the final of that men's 4x1. And just to bring you an update, Brazil and the Netherlands were disqualified from their semi-finals. And great news for St Kitts and Nevis, the evergreen Kim Collins getting into the final, courtesy of that national record. So we've seen a great start to the triple jump final from Phillips Adawu. Let's get straight back over to that one and join Dean Macy.
So into the second round, Nelson Navora. Fantastic news for Great Britain. Phillips Adawu leads. Nelson Navora, this man at his very best back in 2007, a 1774 man. So very, very dangerous. Has competed not a lot this year, but has he been saving himself for this one? Oh, the first phase was good, the second phase wasn't, and he bowed out, he knew it. His frustration. He gets the white flag, but that's not going to be a very, very big jump at all. Gives himself a little bit of a smile, sees the humour of it. Good on the ball, so he's run up, there's no problem there. These guys have all got 6 attempts, bearing in mind they get through into the last 3. We've got 12 of the best triple jumpers here. We're going to lose 4 after 3 rounds. Well, there we go, 1680, but don't worry about that, he's back, he'll be back. So, the next man up, Livan Sands. Very, very dangerous jumper at his best, he's over 17 metres. I'm looking over on the far side and I can tell you it's the red flag. The coach isn't happy, my word. He's a dangerous man, 1759 at his very, very best. Only 1713, but that is a marginal no jump. So, so close. After Phillips posting that fantastic 1756, all of these guys have got to try and squeeze as many centimetres out as they can. 1681 in the first round, but a no jump there in the second. Well, there we go. Coaches are never happy. That was a no jump. Almost certainly talking about the run-up. So many things, so many elements to the triple jump. It's not just a case of tanking it down that run-up and just doing a hop, skip and jump. You have to try to maintain your momentum through all of those 3 phases. That's why the great Jonathan Edwards was able to jump 18 metres and 29 back in Gothenburg in 95. There's a great view of the crowd there. Getting behind these triple jumpers over on the far side. If you look up that run up just on the left hand side, you can see a little red frame with a few strings hanging off it. That's the windsock. The guys get 60 seconds to jump, but they won't do that until they see a tailwind.
Hammer final continues. Yipsy Marino of Cuba. Currently in 5th. She needs a throw of 74 metres and 70 to surpass Heidler for bronze. Well, Cuba have won no gold medals yet here in Daegu, apart from the one temporarily held by Dayron Robles. But here's a big contender for one. Well, she shouts the hammer. And it flies out for the Cuban, twice a world champion. We know she has championship pedigree. Remember, she needs an improvement to get herself onto the rostrum. She likes it, she beats her chest, watches that 4 kilogram hammer fly into the distance. Well, it's a season's best of 74 metres and 48. She's currently in 4th position, though. So here's the top 8 left in this hammer throw competition. Lysenko from Russia still holds the lead from Zhang and Heidler. Marino, well, she's still currently in 4th. So Wenjie Zhang of China. A no throw in the 3rd round, currently in the silver medal position. Chasing that lead of 77 metres and 13 by the Russian. Her 1st round throw the best tonight. She keeps her balance. She nearly lost it by over-rotating on the circle. Well, it falls short of the 75-metre line. Well, the Asian record holder is in the hunt for one of these medals here tonight. She's currently got her hands on one of them. 73 metres and 17. She stays in the silver medal position. Betty Heidler from Germany. What has the world record holder got? She's in bronze medal position. Germany are having a wonderful championships in the throwing events. 3 golds so far for the guys. Better. A lot better from the German. This is the response that you expect from a world record holder. Well, she's had 2 no throws here this evening, and her best so far is 74 metres and 70. She is chasing the Russian down. You don't want to be a world record holder coming into a major championships and go away without the gold. 76 metres and 6 centimetres. She's still currently in silver.
Well, there's a pause in the proceedings at the moment, but why don't we look back at Phillips' fantastic 1st round jump. There we go, well over that yellow mark, which indicates Nelson Navora's 1st round jump. Technically, much, much better than what he was in the qualifying. We're looking at the Dartfish replay here now. And there we go. He said he didn't push through all of his phases in the qualifying. He did there. Look at that big hang on that jump phase. Well out, most importantly, well out above and beyond that 17-metre line. And it has to be said, from takeoff, that could be a PB jump.
Welcome back to the last day here in Daegu of the World Athletics Championships. The triple jump competition is going on behind us. Phillips Idowu is currently in the lead with a jump of 17.56. Our next big medal hope is going to be on the track in around 5 minutes' time. It's Mo Farah in the 5,000 metres. Michael, at this stage, what is Mo thinking?
Well, he's thinking about his strategy and his tactics for the 5,000 meters. He's discussing it with Galen Rupp, his training partner, and I talked to Galen. I represent Galen. I talked to him the other day. He felt like Mo is in great shape and great mindset, which is more important than anything else. We know he's in good shape. He knows he's in great shape. I don't think the 10,000 meters honestly took enough out of him to be a factor here. I think that the 10,000 situation, instead of being a hindrance, I think it actually ends up being a benefit to him because he learned a lot from that race. It gave him confidence. It's his first World Championship medal. Now he goes into this event, the 5,000 meters, where he also has the fastest time in the world. But the thing is, his tactics will be a little bit more important here because people are going to try to take him out hard. Bernard Lagat's going to have his own tactic, and that's going to be the main competition, I believe, is Lagat. I think that his 1,500 meter speed is going to be important here, and so it's all going to come down again to the end of the race. And so I think that Mo has to have a plan in mind that he's worked out with his coach, Alberto Salazar, as to how he actually kicks for this race. And a lot of it's going to depend not so much like it did in the last race on how he feels, but also what Bernard Lagat is doing as well.
For sure. Let's cross now to John Rawling in commentary.
Thank you very much. This could be one of the high spots of the World Championships 2011. And the big question, whether or not Mo Farah can atone for the disappointment in his mind, perhaps, of only taking the silver in the 10,000 metres. There he is, and some talented athletes, notably Bernard Lagat, the United States, now former Kenyan, and a tough trio of Ethiopian athletes, including the 10,000 metres bronze medalist Imane Merja, Galen Rupp, training partner, and watch for the Kenyan youngster Isaiah Koech, number 655 on his back. Eliud Kipchoge, very good athlete as well, although his best days might just be behind him. But Koech, he on paper could go very, very close. Tense moments, Dave Moorcroft.
Really tense moments for Mo. There's Kipchoge, Lagat just in the left of your screen, and Mo Farah there. Wisely taking water. It's the worst moment, really. Once the race is underway, then all of the kind of panicking is over, and you just got to get on with doing whatever you need to do. But at this sort of moment in time, loads of things are going through your mind. And you know, for Lagat, it's familiar territory, because he's a former world and 1500 metres and 5000 metre world champion.
There is Lagat, number 1093. See Merja, number 377. He's one to watch for. And Gebre Meskel, the Ethiopian, number 372, who has got victories over both Lagat, who's a real danger, and earlier in the season over Mo Farah. Now Lagat, former world champion at 1500 and 5000 metres, a former world indoor champion. He's got the pace of a 1500 metre runner. There he is, the former Kenyan, number 1093. Very talented athlete, and he was only fractions behind Mo Farah when Farah broke the British record in Monaco.
And Mo ran a fantastic race that day, but he hadn't run a 10,000 metres a few days before. Lagat is probably one of the greatest middle and long distance runners the world's ever seen. He's the second fastest man ever over 1500 metres and a world champion at 5,000. But, you know, for Mo, if the pace is relatively solid, if somebody takes it out and makes it honest, then they can burn the kick out of Lagat. And actually Mo is one of, if not the fastest person over the last lap, potentially in world distance running. So Mo has nothing to fear in terms of his kick. What he's got to think about is just doing the right tactics, and if he is able to make that break, making sure it's at the right time. There's Lagat and Mo.
Well, Mo Farah has the knowledge that he's beaten Lagat recently in Monaco. Lagat coming in second, the youngster, the Kenyan, Isaiah Koech in third. Here's the starting lineup then for the 5,000 metres. Bernard Lagat, a real threat to Farah, number 1093. Good Ethiopians there as well. The 10,000 metre bronze medalist Imane Merja. Watch for Isaiah Koech, the Kenyan, a youngster, very, very swift. Also Eliud Kipchoge. But Mo Farah for Great Britain. Is this going to be his moment? There he is alongside the New Zealander Jake Robertson. Farah sure to be tension. He's just got to steady himself. He's got to have his mindset on race tactics. There's the Irishman, Alistair Cragg. Good Italian, Mucci. Merja, the 10,000 metres bronze medalist. Lagat could be the big danger. There you see season's best, only fractions behind Mo Farah. And he has set a US record at the age of 36. Galen Rupp, training partner of Farah. And you saw Kuma, another Ethiopian. And as we pan across, Isaiah Koech is a danger, and Gebre Meskel as well. There he is with the number 11 on his hip. Here's Shuji, running for Bahrain, Ethiopian-born. Isaiah Koech, still a teenager, the Kenyan champion. Very quick. Gebre Meskel, a man with a blistering sprint finish. Eliud Kipchoge, a former champion, 2003 in Paris, a silver in Osaka in 2007. Jesus Espana of Spain, European champion in 2006. Thomas Longasiwa of Kenya, sub-13-minute man. It's a Saudi Arabian, Al Hamda, and completing the lineup, Messel of Eritrea. Well, there's Mo Farah. Silver already. Is it now going to be gold?
You know, if Mo's nervous, I think the majority of the distance running fraternity in Britain will be equally nervous, because we've never won a gold medal in the men's events at 5,000 and 10,000 metres. We've said it many, many times. A great history, some outstanding athletes, many silvers and bronzes, but never a gold. But as far as Mo is concerned, there's 12.5 laps, which is just over 3 miles. He'll tuck himself on the inside, keep out of trouble, running fairly anonymously, and let the likes of Gebre Meskel from Ethiopia and others take the lead and take the pressure off him at this stage.
Well, the early leader is Emmanuel Meskel of Eritrea. The tallest of the 3 Ethiopians is Dejan Gebre Meskel, who, let me remind you, in New York beat Lagat, and he beat Mo Farah indoors when he finished the race with a lost shoe. Farah just tucked in about 6th place, and there's Aberi Kuma of Ethiopia. And you talk about the toughness of the Ethiopians. Kuma got into a fight at the World Cross Country Championships. Merger's got a reputation for not at all being afraid to use his elbows, and they've gone out with a 63-second first lap.
Yes, interesting to see, just as it was looking as though it might be a bit pedestrian, Kuma, the youngster, went to the front. So what tactics are the trio of Ethiopians going to use to try and unsettle Mo Farah?
Long way to go. Philip Sidowu in the triple jump also going for gold. Here's Dean Macy.
Final, Philip Sidowu, 17.56 in that first round. A long, long way short of the board, and I have just been watching him move his run-up back ever so slightly. So, come on, Phillips. Well, he's heavy on his feet, isn't he? He's not the smoothest of triple jumpers, but he's such a strong lad. That's short of his leading mark. But he's up there, he's in shape, he's competing. And at the moment, most importantly, he is in the lead. Wow, he's a long way short of that board. 19 centimetres short in the first round, 25 nearly in the second round. If he nails it, if he's within 5 centimetres of that plasticine, he can be very, very long way over that 17-metre board line. There's Aston Moore, his coach, living every single phase with him. Gives him a bit of a grimace. But it's all about the run-up at the moment. Phillips, you get that right, and you'll go a long, long way, mate.
It was a 63-second first lap, an almost funereal paced second lap of 73, so the pace is variable, and there's no clear break yet as the youngster Koech leads them round, Dave.
No, and for Mo this isn't great, but that's something you have to adapt to. Championship racing is different from Grand Prix racing, and it's looking now like it's going to be a pretty pedestrian pace. Mo is second to last at the moment, he's quite happy. Koech, the young Kenyan, probably the most talented Kenyan, leading, but he's not pushing the pace on with any real purpose. He's just going through the motions. And Lagat will be more than happy. The slower it is, the better it is for him. And Mo, no reason to panic. He's moving out a little bit wide now, but really at some point he'll hope that somebody takes the break. And kind of unusually, Mo's taken a drink, which you don't tend to see too often in the 5,000. It's not too hot and humid this evening. I'm slightly surprised that Mo felt the need to have a drink. Having said that, it's so slow at the moment, it wouldn't have put him off his running in any particular way.
It was a sponge rather than a drink, just bathing it over his head and splashing himself with water, trying to keep cool, but he's back next to last at this stage as Koech leads the way. Isaiah Koech, a former world youth champion at 3,000 metres, who was a close third behind Farah and Lagat in Monaco. And as they come in front of us with 9 laps to go, Isaiah Koech leads on. And just look back there in about 9th position at Bernard Lagat, who's keeping right out of any sort of trouble, and he's going very, very easily. Got that beautiful running style in the blue vest of the United States, shaven-headed, balding figure. He just got clipped from the back. Just as I said, he'd stayed out of trouble. He got clipped from behind, and I think it was Gebre Meskel. May have been Merger, but certainly he just got caught, and that's the sort of thing which can happen in 5,000 metres, Dave. So important that you stay out of trouble and maintain your running form.
It particularly happens in slow 5,000 metre running races, the same as the 1,500. And in that sense, where Mo is at the moment is fine, because he's out of trouble. There's no significant breaks, and he's going to make sure that he gets a clear run. He won't be panicking at the moment. Kuma's just moving it on, and Merger, Alistair Cragg from Ireland in 4th place, 3rd place. Nothing happening at the moment. And as each lap goes by, the likes of Lagat and the sprinters become more and more confident. But you know, it's a kind of game of chess. And although Mo would have had a plan in his mind, he's also got to act intuitively as well. And he'll get a feel of what's happening.
Well, they're picking up in front, the three Ethiopians in front, running as a team at this stage. All love between them, I suspect, will be lost when it comes to the burn-up at the end. But for now, they're running as a team. Galen Rupp, training partner of Mo Farah, covering that one, and Farah starting to move up from the back. Bernard Lagat as well, taking closer order, and the pace is allowed to drop. And now Rupp moves up into second place, and he'll have had a word with his training partner, long-time training partner Mo Farah, and Farah will have worked out his tactics, and he's coming wide around the outside now, and he's coming right round Lagat, past the Kenyan Kipchoge, and coming up towards the lead, and he's coming wide out of all trouble. The pace slows right down again, right down, but Farah tactically, as it was in the 10,000 metres, and he found somebody with the pace the last lap to burn him off. In that case, Ibrahim Jaylan with a time in that last lap of 52.9. He couldn't quite do it, but the tactics were right, and they're looking good again.
They're looking fine at the moment, but the 10,000 metres was more of an honest pace early on, and certainly Jaylan's sprint and the time he did was something of a surprise. This is really pedestrian at the moment. It's very, very slow, and I think probably Mo's probably happy where he is at the moment. It'll be going through the back of his mind at some point that he might just wind it up just to test the field. But what he'll really be hoping will be that somebody else will take the initiative on his behalf. As I said before, Lagat number 6 on his shorts will be pretty comfortable at whatever pace is thrown at him, because he'll probably feel that he's the fastest 1500 metre runner, and in a very, very slow race he would expect to outkick this field. But for Mo, he should not panic. He's got a great kit.
Gebre Meskel leads from Rupp, then comes Kuma. Hamda of Saudi Arabia now takes it up and hits the front, coming past Galen Rupp. This is El Hamda, also known as Hussein El Yami. He's 28 years old, 13 minutes 12 man, and he's kicked on, and he's really put in a little burst of pace here. Not somebody we expect to be in medal contention, and the big guns will let him go for now, but they'll keep an eagle eye on him. Galen Rupp in second place, then comes Aberi Kuma of Ethiopia. Mo Farah just covering it, coming past the Irishman, Alistair Cragg, and also right behind him, and he looks imperious at the moment, Lagat.
And whatever Mo does, Lagat follows. Mo is hounding, Lagat's hounding Mo. He's on his shoulder. He knows that Mo is the likely main contender, and he's following him. A 62-second lap.
62-second lap. This has been a real punishing burst put in by the Saudi Arabian El Hamda. He leads from Rupp, then comes Kuma. Behind him comes Longa Siwa of Kenya. And there's Mo Farah. Number 12, watch for him, a former champion, Eliud Kipchoge, and he's starting to range up, moving right the way through into 5th place. El Hamda still in front. Farah has yet to make a big move. Lagat's yet to make a big move. It's cat and mouse, but now Farah starts to take closer order, and every step of the way, look at Lagat. The response is instantaneous.
It is, and it's ominous, but Mo's doing the right thing. And in fact, El Hamda from the bell position actually ran a 60-second lap, so he's actually speeding it up, gradually turning the screw. Galen Rupp from the USA knows if he's got any chance of a medal, he's going to have to rely on the fact that people break away from the main pack. A 61-second lap, and this is the sort of thing that Mo will be pleased about, because it will take the edge off Lagat and others' kick. It's hard for Mo, but somebody is doing the work for him, and Mo is in exactly the right position at the moment. When they get to the finish in a moment, there'll be 4 laps to go, 1 mile to go, the territory of the middle distance runner.
Mo Farah up there behind the leader, Al Hamda. Merges there with those flailing elbows. Not an easy man to run alongside. Kuma's there, Lagat, there's Farah, Galen Rupp just behind, and then the Kenyan Longa Siwa. Koech is still in close contention. This is a race which is panning out to be an epic. We had a wonderful 10,000 metres. This 5,000 metres could be every bit as enthralling. Mo Farah moves wide and just looks behind to see where the others are, to see whether somebody maybe just clipped his heel. It could have been his training partner, Galen Rupp. The 3 Kenyans are in close order. Rupp is there, Lagat challengingly placed in 6th place, just behind Farah. As they come into the straight once more, it's a Bere Kuma from Merger, and then the Arabian Alhamda. Then it's Mo Farah, then Galen Rupp. Koech is moving into a position where he can move and can cover any sort of break. They'll come through this time, Dave Moorcroft, with 3 laps to go.
3, the biggest laps in Mo's athletics career so far. 3 laps when he can become a world champion. Half of Mo's mind will be thinking, when am I going to kick? But also he'll be anticipating potentially a kick from somebody else. His little distance running computer's working overtime, but his legs have that ability. He really is now a world-class athlete. But he's followed by other great runners. There's 13 people still in contention. Koech, Lagat, Farah, Kuma, all the best athletes, all there, and all of them believe they can win a medal and possibly gold.
And don't forget the name Dejan Gebremeskel, the man with the sprint finish, the Ethiopian who's just allowing himself just to keep out of trouble. And he's just up on the shoulder, Mucci, of the Italian Mucci, and now moves up towards Galen Rupp, just working his way into slightly closer order. You see the third of the green shirted Ethiopians at the back of this lead group with the chain swinging around his neck, and there up front it's Mo Farah alongside Kuma, and Farah now hits the front. Is he going to decide to go from a long way out? Lagat's there, Koech is there. This is turning into an epic.
Wherever Farah's been, Lagat has been. 2 laps to go, and Kuma was almost enticing Mo to take the lead, but the patient Mo Farah has just backed off, which is the right thing to do. It's not a problem being in that position. We've got Galen Rupp coming wide for the Americas. Maybe he'll push it on. He'll be doing Mo a bit of a favour if he does, the guy on the left-hand side.
And look at Gebremeskel, the Ethiopian, coming wide as well. He's covering any move, and Farah still leads from Kuma. Then comes Lagat, and Rupp now moves onto the shoulder of his training partner, and a 64-second lap. And now it's Farah and Rupp who lead the way, and somebody's gone down. One of the Kenyans has gone down. We'll try and bring you that as soon as we can. Koech is still there. It may be Longasiwa who went down, but Koech, the most dangerous of the Kenyans. It is indeed Longasiwa who went down. Koech avoided that, so too did the Ethiopians, and they'll come up this time to take the bell, and the burn-up is on as the Kenyans take it up.
It is, and now Mo's decided he's going to keep the lead. He's going to push the other people away. He's making his run for home, but it isn't a sprint, it's a wind-up, and the wind-up, Lagat's still there, but the wind-up might be the best tactic.
300 metres to go. Gebremeskel, the man with the sprint finish, who's already beaten Farah indoors. He's up there. Koech is there. Lagat back in 5th place. Gebremeskel going for gold, but Mo Farah on the inside is holding him off at the moment. 57-second lap. Less than 200 metres to go. What a race we have. Merger in 3rd place, and here comes Lagat. Mo into the last 100 metres. Farah's going for gold. Gebremeskel can't respond. Here comes Lagat. Lagat's coming all the time. He's closing with every stride, but Farah's going to win it, and Mo Farah takes the gold. What a performance from Mo Farah. He kisses the ground in celebration. Silver in the 10,000 metres, and now gold when it mattered in the 5. He has produced a quite wonderful run, and what a display of sportsmanship from Bernard Lagat, who pushed him all the way and took the silver. He's the first man to congratulate Mo Farah, who tonight reigned supreme.
That was absolutely fantastic. Mo becomes the greatest distance runner. There he is with his wife Tanya, and I'm sure their little Rihanna, their daughter, will be there as well. There she is. The greatest distance runner, male distance runner that Britain has ever seen.
Dave, I can tell you he produced a 52.7 second last lap.
And it was perfect tactics, wasn't it? The race didn't go to plan. It wasn't what he expected. It looked like it was playing into the hands of Lagat, But what Mo did tonight was what he didn't quite do in the 10,000 metres. He controlled it, he wound it up, he wouldn't allow the Ethiopians past, he made everybody run wide, and then when he found that one more gear, it was decisive, and it took him to this global medal. Just a wonderful, wonderful night for British distance running, and for everybody who's been part of Mo's career over the last 15, 20 years. And there they are with Alberto Salazar, the coach to both Mo and Rupp.
Let's talk a little bit about that last lap, because the 10,000 metres, he went with 500 metres to go, and there was a little bit of a feeling among some of the experts, and there are some great names here, there was a bit of a feeling that he went too soon, went too fast, and instead of winding it up, he'd committed himself, which let Jalen run off the pace. This time, so different. He cranked it up and went faster and faster. Here comes Lagat, closing with every stride. But Farah stayed there this time, gritted his teeth, looking nervously, and he knew it there.
He did know it, and for once Lagat just didn't get onto Farah's shoulder, so he had to go wide round Gebre Meskel and Merger, and that was the difference. But the difference for Mo was that he didn't panic. He really gradually wound it up. He turned the screw, and as they came off the top bend, he had one more gear to go, and Lagat didn't have enough. What great facial expressions. Mo desperate to get that gold medal. Lagat burning, really desperately trying to close the gap. But Mo knows he's won it there. He knows he's the world champion. He knows he's the best distance runner in the world at the moment. And he knows that so many people will be so proud of him.
Well, that is a gold medal for Great Britain, and an image which will live in the memory for many a year. That's one gold medal. Can there be another? Here's Dean Macy.
Third round in the men's triple jump. And Philip Sadawu has just seen Will Clay from the USA jump 17 metres 50 in the third round. How can he respond? He has just seen Mo Farah take that 5,000 metre gold medal. Come on, Phillips, use it, mate, respond. He's on the board, he's good through his three phases. He's a long way over 17 metres. My word, Philip Sadawu. Wow, we said 1750 plus would be a medal position. My word, what has he just done? That is a long way closer to 18 metres than 17. Phillips, well, you've still got a fair few centimetres to give away, but that is good. We knew he was in shape when he said he didn't really nail it in qualifying. My word, Philip Sadawu, that could well be a gold medal jump. Look at that first hop, big step, so smooth. Well, there's Nelson Navora. He knows that's game over for him. Straight to the coach. Where's the scores? 17 metres 70, a season's best, and only 11 centimetres off his personal best.
Mo Farah, gold medalist, world champion at 5,000 meters. I think he understood from the other day in the 10,000 meters that he went too fast, too quick, and got it right tonight. Just as patient as he needed to be. The tactics weren't falling for him earlier in the race, but I think at the end he started to gain confidence that he could be right there with the big boys and that he could get the tactics right this time, and he had to just really trust his speed and trust himself at the end of that race. I'm sure that he was anxious and would want to do exactly what he did the other night, to take off and try to control the race, but the smart thing to do tonight was to just stay right there with the leaders and try to outkick them at the end and kick it up one gear at 400 meters to go, and then kick it up another gear with 200 meters to go, which he did.
Well, Dave Moorcroft, you've had a chance to just digest what you've seen. Had a couple of messages coming through during that, and a real sense of jubilation across the country. So much disappointment that his dream didn't quite work out in the 10,000 metres, but here's the face of Mo Farah. He's going to be one of the faces of 2012, let alone 2011.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see him there looking across at Lagat, and Lagat in desperately. And there's little Rihanna and his wife Tanya. It's a great picture, a great moment. But you know, Project Mo over the last 10 years has been pretty immense. His coach Alan Story and others. And now
let's go to Sonia McLaughlin now. Sonia. No, I'm afraid we can't. Do that. We will come back and we will hear from Mo Farah. He's got to speak to the Korean broadcasters, as you can see, first of all. And that's Sonia McLaughlin there with the blonde hair in picture. You've not seen her on camera too much, but she's waiting patiently for her turn. And just as I hoped that I was going to be commentating on a gold medal, she, I'm sure, is going to love interviewing on that one. And thoughts as well for some of the great British names of years gone by, as I'm sure we'll be watching this. People like Ian Stewart, like Brendan Foster, like Dave Bedford, like Eamon Martin, the list goes on, and they'll all be loving this one. Mo Farah, he won that there, and just enjoy that. That is a British gold medal, and he's beaten all the best runners in the world. Lagat the silver, Merger the bronze. Fabulous.
We've waited 10 years really for that from Mo, because here he is again, an image that we'll see, a last 100 metres that we'll see often. But Mo won the European Junior 5000 10 years ago. It's taken him a while to get to this point, but isn't it brilliant when he did?
Sonia McLaughlin, it's all yours.
Well, Mo Farah, the first British man to win a global title in a long-distance event. How proud are you right now?
I'm very proud, you know, I just can't believe it. It hasn't quite sank in yet, but, you know, I came so close in the 10 and I just wanted to do it in the 5K, so it came to the sprint right at the end.
You wound it up, and you wound it up. It was near perfect tactics. Was that the key today? That was the key. Alberto just told me do not let anyone pass. Gavin Muscott tried to come past me, and I just had to hold him, and then the last bit, just try and dig in. You've beaten the great Bernard Lagat. He was the first person to congratulate you on the track side. Did you fear he might be the biggest threat? Yeah, I knew Bernard, you know, he's come from 1,500 metres going upwards, so I knew it was him and Gavin Muscott and Merger, so I just had to go out there and just try and relax and, you know, just do what I did in the 10K, but try and get it right this time. You had to move to the States earlier this year to make that sacrifice, to change your training. It means a sacrifice for your family as well, who are here. Your daughter Rihanna, your wife Tanya. Tanya, how proud are you as a whole family?
I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say. I'm really happy, obviously very proud, but it was just so nerve-wracking watching that last lap and watching him come down the home straight. It was almost a case of, is it going to be the same as it was last week? But no, it wasn't, so I'm really happy. You managed to keep the faith in that last stretch, Mo? Yeah, it was thanks to Alberto, my coach. He just said, believe in yourself and try and dig in. Just try and make it like you're sprinting rather than just like long stride, and just change gear and just hold it together, don't lean forward. And yeah, and that worked. And I just want to thank everyone who's helped me. And, you know, it's great to have my family behind me. And, you know, I've made a lot of sacrifices and, you know, moving away from home where I was comfortable, you know, relative everything else. And I'm glad I made that choice because it's working. It certainly is. There's no doubt about that. You're a man in demand, so I'm going to let you go. But Rihanna, last word to you. How cool is Daddy? Cool. He's really cool, isn't he? Well done to you all as a family. It's a brilliant achievement. Well done.
Oh, wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that lovely? And fabulous that Mo's young daughter should have the final word. How much does it mean? That tells you. That tells you everything.
You know, that's in many respects the hopes and dreams of Mo over the last 10 years, from his school teacher Alan Watkinson all those years ago, to Alan's story, the setup at UK Athletics now, the kind of approach of no stone unturned. The sacrifice is that it's no sacrifice for Mo to go overseas, but it is to his family, it is to Rihanna. And, you know, tonight was perfection. You know, we've dreamt in Britain of winning a global medal and being able to take on the best of the Ethiopians and the best of the Kenyans. And a few years ago when Mo came 6th in this race and then he came 7th, we kind of thought, yeah, he could be the best in Europe, but can he be the best in the world? We've seen this year that he can run the fastest times in the world. We saw tonight he can be the best competitor. It was a complete run by, I think, the complete distance runner.
Let's bring you the latest on the triple jump, and here's Dean Macy.
Well, there we go. We're going to lose the bottom 4 jumpers, but most importantly, Philip Sadawu up there with a wonderful 17 metres 70 in that 3rd round. Will Clay, a danger man, personal best in 2nd place. So this is the 4th round. Capello for France. Compore, ever so sorry, for France. 17 metres 29 so far this year. It has to be said, his best result. World Junior Champion in 2006. He was 5th last year in the European Championships. Good speed on the board. when he bows out, and that's what happens when someone like Philips Adawu puts out a monster jump of 17.70. The rest of the pressure goes onto the field, and they start really feeling it. It's difficult to respond to such a big jump like that, especially in Benjamin Kapore's case, when it's nearly 70 centimetres above his personal best. There's the tension on his face. Goes through his first phase. We mentioned just how much pressure comes down onto these triple jumpers' legs. In fact, I had a text earlier on from one of my strength conditioning coaches. He said it's not 4 or 5 times, it's more like 15 or 16 times the body weight. And there we go, 17-17 in the third round. That remains his best.
I wonder if Philips Adawu was able to watch that performance and whether he's going to be inspired by that performance in his 3 remaining jumps. Here's the hammer with Kath Merry.
We're in the final round of the women's hammer. Anita Wlodarczyk. She's currently in 5th position. The defending world champion, the championship record holder. 1 throw left. Well, she spins off the release of that 4-kilogram hammer. The coach's face sums it up. It's not going to be a good day at the office for the Polish athlete. The former world record holder really was looking forward to this competition, but finishes in 5th. The season's best throw, 73 meters and 56 in the first round. So she's out of the medals. So, 6th and final round for Zhang from China. She's currently in the bronze medal position. She won the bronze back in 2007, and she started her competition this evening wonderfully with a throw of 75 meters and 3 centimeters. Last attempt. She throws it, she releases it high. But unfortunately, well, the Chinese athlete appreciates the support from the crowd. But Zhang throws 74 meters and 79. She's confirmed in the bronze medal, which means there's 2 throwers left. Betty Heidler from Germany is in silver. She is the world record holder. The world leader, 1 throw left to snatch the gold away from Russia. No, she doesn't like it. Well, and it's just over 65 meters. Don't even think it was a clean throw for the German. She was a massive favorite coming into this, but takes home the silver medal, does the world record holder. And here is Tatiana Lysenko. She knows she has the gold. She denied Germany taking their 4th field gold here this evening. She's won a bronze here before, and now she is the world champion. 77 meters and 13. Her first round throw, it was good enough to snatch the gold. And there's the full result then for the hammer throw final. Lysenko of Russia takes the gold, Heidler from Germany the silver, and Zhang from China the bronze.
Well, over to the triple jump, and this is a very, very dangerous man. 17 meters 40 in that 4th round. He's improving all the way through. He beat Philips Adawu at Crystal Palace just before this competition. He's a young man, just 21 years old. He's ranked number 3 in the world this year, US number 1. What can he do? Well, it's good, it's good, it's long, it's massive. Oh my word, it's a long way over Philips Adawu's lead, and it is so close to the 18-meter mark. 17.96, 5th longest jump of all time. Oh my word, Christian Taylor has really put himself in the mix.
Well, now the final of the women's 800 metres, and this could be lightning quick. All 8 women in this field have run under 1:59 this season. The defending champion, Kasta Semenya, there she is in lane 5. She turned it on with 2:50 to go. She's got the fastest woman in the world this year outside her, Savinova, the Russian. 2 other Russians, The 2007 champion from Kenya, Janice Chepkosgei, she goes in lane 1. Kenya Sinclair's had plenty of wins on the circuit for Jamaica on the outside. It'll be interesting to see just how fast they go here. Maggie Vesey going for the United States in 2. How quick will they go on that first lap? Chepkosgei, the Kenyan on the inside, ran 56.5 for the first lap in her semi-final, and she's on the inside. Sinclair of Jamaica comes across. Montano is in 3rd place, the American. Kenya Sinclair in 2nd, but it's Chepkosgei leading. Kenya Sinclair on her shoulder. Kostetskaya is in 4th. Semenya's back in 5th at the moment, with Vesey in 6th, and Savinova, the fastest woman in the world this year, back in 7th place. So the Kenyan has gone out really hard here, but she's got the Jamaican Sinclair on her shoulder. Montano is in 3rd. Kostetskaya in 4th. 55.86 at the bell. Can she hang on? Caster Semenya now trying to move up onto the outside. It's lightning quick. Chepkosgei comes into the back straight. Sinclair in 2nd. Someone surely is going to tire. And look at that, they're all coming. Semenya in 4th place. Savinova 5th. Kostetskaya in 6th. And still the Kenyan is leading. Caster Semenya now up onto the shoulder of the Kenyan, but Savinova is coming with her. Caster Semenya, Kostetskaya back in 6th place, but moving through. Chepkosgei of Kenya is starting to tire. Watch Savinova on the outside, but Caster Semenya is on the inside, trying to hang on. Savinova, can she find something? Semenya's digging deep. It's been a lightning quick pace. Caster Semenya is just going to get beaten. Savinova takes it. 1:55.89. We thought it might be quick. The Russian has had to produce the performance of her life. She didn't go with the early pace. She left it until it was absolutely right. Semenya was just meters away from taking the title, but a brilliant win for Savinova.
Well, Philip Sodowell has just seen Christian Taylor jump an amazing distance. 17 metres 96. He has to go so close to 18 metres to retain this title. Oh my word! It's enormous. I don't think it's far enough, but it is certainly an improvement. This triple jump competition is livening up so much in this 4th round. Wow. Christian Taylor took the lead. It was such an enormous jump and such an enormous PB, but Philip Sodowell is getting his run up sorted, and he looks in such good shape. Just lost momentum on that last phase. Done a little bit of a penguin dive into the sand, which didn't look too great, mate, but he is responding like a champion needs to. All the way through them phases, fighting for his title. Wow. I don't think I've seen quite a long jump competition like this. 17.77, the season's best, but he has really got to do something to regain that 1st place. Well, there we go. There's the current position. Christian Taylor with a massive personal best, 17.96. Philip Sodowell at the moment in silver position, but Will Clay from the USA, the young man who's also long jumped here, 17.50.
Well, we're just catching our breath from this 800 metres. Kath, Mary, your thoughts on such a fast race?
It was wonderful, wasn't it? The 2 big guns here at 200 metres. Caster Semenya took the lead. When you think she ran 28 seconds for the last 200 metres in her semi-final, she must have thought she'd done enough by going with 200 to go. But Savinova from Russia, the world leader, she was biding her time, and she tracked back Caster Semenya, the defending world champion. Just started to run out of gas with 40 metres to go. And the European indoor champion, the world indoor champion, and of course the European champion last year, grabbed the gold from the South African. And the bronze medal as well for Chepkosgei after her leading lap. It was a wonderful race, Rob, wasn't it? An absolutely startling time as well.
One of the best championship finals over 800 metres we've seen. Look at the smile on the face of Savinova. She wins 1:55.87, Semenya 1:56.35, and Chepkoskai 1:57.42. We knew that she would have to go fast to win, and she did it. Savinova is the new world champion. Semenya gets the silver, and it's bronze for Chepkoskai of Kenya.
Welcome back. At the start of our live coverage, I promise you it would be an explosive finale to the World Athletics Championships. I don't think I realised just quite how explosive. Michael Johnson, it's going off tonight.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, Mo Farah, that was a great weight race to watch. I mean, and you got great things going on over there. Hot competition in the triple jump. So yeah, it's great. It's a great way to end what's been a great championship already.
Dave Moorcroft, you just watched Mo Farah win the 5,000 metres. What a run that was from him.
Well, it was perfection, and it was everything we hoped he could produce, that he didn't quite produce in the 10,000 metres, as brave as it was. And I probably can speak, I think, on behalf of all the British distance runners, because we're really proud of what Mo did tonight. No male distance runner, 5 and 10, has ever won a global title. Liz McColgan won it in the 10,000 metres back in 1991. Paula Radcliffe won the marathon in 2005. But we've awaited a long, long time for an athlete like Mo to emerge and be the best in the world. And tonight, he's not only the fastest in the world, he's the best racer.
In terms of the race, it probably didn't go exactly as he might have liked it to. It was a little bit slower going out. But when he came into the home straight, he just seemed relaxed, and he seemed like he was confident.
The unpredictability of a championship is something you have to contend with as a distance runner. You can't rely on the fact he's going to be fast. You have to have a series of different options. And what Mo did tonight was he just had too many answers to any question that any of the opposition could throw at him. And on the last lap, all he did was wind it up. You know, a very, very fast last lap, but he came off the top bend with one more gear. Gabri Maskell, Merger, and Legat, who was having to run wide, just couldn't respond. And when he kicked, it was the perfect time to kick. Michael would know about it. The last lap of a 400 metres is not dissimilar to the last lap of a distance race. And it was perfect in terms of timing. It was perfect in terms of execution. And it was a real great combination between physical effort and brain.
We're talking a bit about the triple jump competition that is developing behind us. One of the all-time great triple jump competitions. Philip Sidowu jumped 17.70. Christian Taylor, 17.96.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a huge personal best for him. He's only 21 years old. I mean, he's now 4th on the all-time list. Now Philip Sidowu has to respond. He can produce a jump like that, but he's got to now produce a personal best. It's in him to do it, but now he's got a tremendous amount of pressure on him. It's not like the pressure that an athlete in a sprint race would feel to try to respond. This is a technical event where too much effort, too much anxiety, too much effort could get you in trouble. So it'll be interesting to see how he responds.
We're going to go back to our commentary team now, and Dean Macy, who is at the triple jump.
Well, you're absolutely right, guys. This is one of the best triple jump competitions I've ever seen. We've got a little bit of a pause in the proceedings at the moment. The crowd, it has to be said, have been absolutely loving it. Well, we have the current leader up next, Christian Taylor from the United States. He's only 21 years old. He jumped a personal best of around 20 centimetres before this championships at Crystal Palace to pretty much shock everyone, it has to be said. But coming into this, I thought this was the man to beat. Philip Sidowu, defending world champion. I knew he was going to compete well. I completely accepted his excuses for not jumping out of the pit at Crystal Palace because he was in hard training and he was focusing here on the World Championships. And it also has to be said that he has jumped very, very well. And by the looks of things, I think Christian Taylor may well have passed his 5th round jump. And there we go, that's confirmation. Philip Sidowu is at the end of the run-up. Now, what can he produce? He has jumped 17.56, 17.70 and 17.77 are his furthest 3 jumps. A fantastic round. And there we go. There's a 17.38 in there just for the mix. He has to respond though. No Brit has ever successfully retained a world title. And Christian Taylor from the United States has just made that task so difficult. He needs a personal best. He needs to jump very close to 18 metres. Well, he's trying so hard. The key for jumping, though, is to try to stay relaxed. He will know that. His coach, Aston Moore, will know that. That's still not a bad jump, it has to be said. The competition just got torn apart in that fourth round with that 17.96 jump. I mentioned it there. It was the 5th longest jump of all time. And there's Phillips working all the way through his phases. So confident in his own ability. Well, look at that, Christian Taylor not even watching. He's so confident. He's a young man, and at the moment he's leading this competition. But Phillips Adawu, 17.48. He will go into the last round with such a tall task ahead of him. There's Aston Moore. Such a awesome technical coach. Used to coach Asa Hansen. And here you see in 3rd place Will Clay, who I can tell you in the 5th round has passed, but in the 4th round jumped 17.30, but that was because his hand brushed against the sand. His feet and his torso actually landed well out there towards 17 meters 70, so that man in the last round could be very dangerous. And there we have it. Christian Taylor leading the way, as I said, with the 5th longest jump of all time, 17.96. Phillips Adawu, and I thought that would be good enough coming into this competition. 17.77. Will Clay, who jumped in the long jump competition last night, in 3rd place. Well, the triple jumpers over on the far side of the track. There must be 40,000 people in this stadium at the moment, and they are controlling the entire crowd's attention. So it's a fantastic atmosphere for those guys.
Dean, what sort of words of advice do you think that Phillips' coach will be giving him at this stage? You mentioned relaxation.
Well, I don't think it's going to be anything other than technical. Phillips, at the end of the day, tonight has got to jump out the pit. There's only been 2 men ever jump over 18 metres. That's Kenny Harrison and our own Jonathan Edwards. And Phillips Adawu has pretty much got to join that list to win this World Championships. And so Aston will be looking on the technical side of things to try and improve his personal best, which is set last year, 17.81. He needs to find 11 centimetres to take that title back.
If there's one thing you can say about Phillips, though, it's that he is a phenomenal big occasion performer.
Yeah, and earlier on in his career, you'd have to say if he didn't put a big one out in the 1st round, then he was over. But he is so much better than that right now.
Well, let's take another look at this one. This is Taylor.
Yeah, he goes into the board. His last 3 strides, he quickens up into the board, and it has to be said he was spot on the board, didn't give more than a centimetre away. He pushes right the way through his phases, maintains that momentum, and these guys are actually striking the ground. They're not just hitting the ground. And that big long stretch, more like a long jumper entering the pit, goes out to very close on that 18-metre line. There's Christian Olsen, the world, Olympic, European champion. That guy looks like he's had enough of the competition. At the moment, he's sitting down in 6th place, but he's passed his 5th round jump, and I think we saw him putting his spikes into the spike bag.
Here we go then with the penultimate event on the track tonight, the women's 4x1 relay. The Americans go in lane 4, 41.94 in qualification. We're looking at the Russians, the Olympic champions. Gashina is lead leg for them, and she was part of that gold medal winning quartet 3 years ago in Beijing. Ana Claudia Silva, South American record holder, goes lead leg for Brazil in lane number 2. She will have the fast starting targets from Trinidad and Tobago in 3 and the United States in 4 outsider. How about the Trinidadian quartet? Kenny-Ann Baptiste goes second for them. Selvon leads off. A national record in qualification by over half a second. They're in form, and they'll be looking to make up ground on the United States, and surely full of confidence after that great time in qualification. Bianca Knight goes lead leg for the Americans. 5 times they've won this title. Alison Felix goes 2, Marchevette Myers 3, and Carmelita Jeter, the anchor leg. Can we see Another golden moment from the American woman. Gold in the 100, silver in the 2. The Americans so fast in qualification. Myriam Soumaré, the European champion over 200 metres. She goes lead leg for the French. Veronique Mang bringing them home. Then the Jamaicans. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the Olympic champion over 100 metres, 4th in the individual. She should and will hope to get them off to a flying start. Karen Stewart goes 2nd, Sharon Simpson 3rd, and Veronica Campbell-Brown goes anchor for Jamaica. If it's close with Jetta, that could be a brilliant finish. Then the Nigerians, led off by Gloria Asumni. Blessing Okabare goes anchor for them, the Olympic bronze medalist in the long jump. Then the Ukrainians, led off by Alexei Poe, European indoor champion over 60 metres. She's lightning quick when she gets it right. And Christina Stui, who made the final of the 200, she's on the outside. So, Russia in 1, Brazil 2, Trinidad and Tobago in 3, United States in 4, France 5, Jamaica 6, Nigeria 7, Ukraine in 8. It's a rerun on the anchor leg of the 200 metres final. If it's tight, we have Carmelita Jetta on the anchor leg for the States and Veronica Campbell-Brown, who took that 200 metre gold a few nights ago in fine style. Trinidad in 3, United States in 4, France 5 and Jamaica 6. The final of the women's 4x100 metre relay. Will we see some fireworks from the Americans?
Set.
Well, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will hope to get away very, very quickly for the Jamaicans. Povi's going well on the outside, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce going really well on that first leg. Fairly clean changeover to Karen Stewart. The Americans need to come back with Alison Felix, and they're doing so. Alison Felix is running a brilliant leg. Then Sharon Simpson for Jamaica. Have the Americans left it too late? The Ukrainians going well on the outside. Jetta against Campbell-Brown, and Carmelita Jetta, can she hang on? Veronica Campbell-Brown is coming, but it's going to be another gold for the Americans. Carmelita Jetta takes it, 41.57, just 0.2 of a second outside the world record, and Carmelita Jetta brought them home in fine, fine style. We thought it might come down to a duel and a rerun of that 200 metre final between Jetta and Veronica Campbell-Brown, and this time it was gold for the United States. A lightning quick time, Michael Johnson.
Great performance, great handoff. We've talked about this U.S. team on the men's and women's side having so much pressure on them because they've had so many dropped batons in the past. There's been lots of money spent to develop this team, to get practices in, to get training camps in, meets in, where they could work on these handoffs, and they finally got it right. There was pressure coming from Veronica Campbell-Brown from Jamaica, but Carmelita Jetta, the 100-meter world champion, just holding off Veronica Campbell-Brown. They knew they would need to be quick, but they would need to have great handoffs, and they've been able to do that tonight. A great performance, tight at the line. The Jamaicans were coming. I think it all, Marchevette Myers and Alison Felix in the middle of that race on second and third leg made all of the difference. This is Bianca Knight. Not a great start this time. She got a really good start in the prelims earlier today. But in this race in the final, she didn't get out as good. Shelly-Ann Fraser got a little bit of a head start, I believe, on her. In terms of the exchange here, let's just look. Yep, they touched off just ahead of the Americans, but Alison Felix, who has had an extremely busy week here with the 200 meters, 400 meters, 4x400 meter relay, made up some ground on the second leg there. Let's check out this handoff. Perfect. That's a great handoff, full extension by the outgoing runner, Marchevette Myers and Alison Felix. Myers ran a blistering turn in the prelims, and again here in the final, the Jamaicans just touching out just a bit earlier, but the Americans were in front, and Carmelita Jetta just smooth, great technique coming down the home stretch. All she's got to do now is hold out the fast closer, Veronica Campbell-Brown. Carmelita Jeter just taking a look over there to the side. She knows that's where the heat's going to come from. It's going to come from the Jamaicans. It's going to come from Veronica Campbell-Brown, a great 100-meter and 200-meter sprinter. But she's happy to get that victory.
Well, what a marvellous performance from the Americans. And I tell you what, the Jamaicans ran their socks off. National record and a Commonwealth record in second place. And a really good finish by Stewie of the Ukraine to bring them home with the bronze. So 4 medals to Alison Felix now. The United States take it with a lightning quick time. Jamaica, a national record, but silver this time, and a brilliant bronze for Ukraine. Well, we'll be keeping you posted on the conclusion of that triple jump, but Kath, that was a fantastic performance by the Americans there.
It was wonderful. We did question whether the world record was going to be troubled, which stands at 41.37 seconds. That was the quality that we knew was going to be displayed in that final. The United States and Jamaica put on an absolute demonstration there of how to run 4x100-meter relays.
Well, Alexei Capello laying in 4th place at the moment. He came into this competition 3rd on the world rankings. Well, he's gone down a little bit more now. 26 years old, 1768 this year. He's a dangerous, dangerous man. 1 jump to go to get himself into the medals. No, there you go. The pressure told. He looks at his feet, not happy. It's a great feeling when you respond in the last round and put a big jump out there, put some pressure on, but it wasn't to be for the Cuban. 2 years ago, he finished with a bronze medal. He's 1 place worse off in 4th place this year. And I know how that feels. Ever so slight on the board. As soon as he went into that second phase, he knew it was a no jump. He knew his timing was all wrong. And someone said, when you get the triple jump right, it's just like you're flying. 16 meters 11, 17.47 in that 5th round was his best result. He finishes down just outside the medals in 4th place. Now, the young man, 20 years old, he had a monster of a jump in the 5th round. Will Clay for the United States. He's in 3rd place. He's the only man that can push Phillips Adawu down the order. He's got a big step, but it isn't big enough. That 5th round jump, he couldn't repeat it. He's happy with his medal. It was an awesome performance. He finished 9th in the long jump last night. He's spent an awful lot of time in this stadium and ran an awful lot up and down that run-up. But it's a great result for the young American. Just 20 years old, in such an awesome competition tonight as well. And he picks up a bronze medal. Well, there we have it. A wonderful personal best at the right time of 17.50. It was good enough for a bronze. Next up, I can tell you who it is. It's Phillips Adawu, the defending champion. No Brit has ever retained a world title, and he has 1 jump to jump 17 meters and 97 or more to do that. That's the man that's holding the lead, Christian Taylor, at the moment. Now this is it. Probably the most important jump of Phillips Adawu's life. In 2nd place at the moment, 17.77, season's best in that 4th round. He's competed fantastically. He's responded when he needed to, but he needs to respond right now, right here, more than ever. 20 centimeters he needs. Come on, Phillips, 1 jump. Oh, it's a good one, but it ain't good enough. Unfortunately, Phillips cannot retain that world title. He has competed fantastically here. I have to say, from my perspective, and there's Aston Moore, I thought 17.77 would take it. But that's just life, I guess. Phillips will feel sick as a dog. He didn't accept the silver medal he won in Beijing when he came second behind Nelson Avora. I hope he accepts his silver medal as an achievement, because he has jumped fantastically well. He gives himself the thumbs up to the coach. I think that's a wry smile. But this guy here, we saw it at Crystal Palace just before this championships. He could be a danger man, but I don't think anyone saw a 17-metre 96 jump coming out of this guy. 21 years old, the US and the US collegiate champion this year. Well, this must feel so good. He gets the crowd going. In the 5th round, he passed. In the 4th round, he jumped a world lead of 17.96. Can he go closer to the 18-metre mark? Well, he's deceiving on the run-up. He didn't deceive anyone on that jump. His legs completely went from under him on that second phase, but he doesn't care. He is the 2011 world champion at just 21 years of age. There we go. Fantastic camaraderie. They both know they competed well. And there's confirmation. A wonderful, wonderful world lead. 17-metre 96 in that 4th round. The young man came good when it needed to. And he took the world title off of Great Britain's Phillips Odawu. It was unfortunate for him, but fantastic result for Christian Taylor of the United States. And there's Phillips. Well, that answers the question. I think he is very, very pleased with that silver medal, and rightly so. Now, Christian Taylor takes the gold medal for the United States. Phillips Odawu, a wonderful silver medal in 2nd, and Will Clay for the United States in 3rd.
Well, this is a moment that we had hoped for before we came to Korea, and the long journey out to Daegu. How much we hoped that Mo Farah was going to take a gold medal. In all honesty, we thought it was going to come in the 10,000 metres, and when he got beaten into silver medal position, we wondered just how much was left in the legs. A young fella who came over here as a 10-year-old, as a Somalian refugee, and now has become a British national hero. As a sporting story, wonderful. As a human story, magnificent. Treasurer of the IAAF to make the medal presentation. Bronze medal going to Ethiopia and Imane Merga. 13:23.78 seconds to add to the medal he got in the 10,000 metres. At 36 years old, for many people, Bernard Lagat could have been the man to beat. He was closing with every stride in that last sprint for the line, but the line couldn't come quickly enough, and a silver medal. And now a penny for the thoughts of Mo Farah. Mo Farah is champion of the world. The British fans who've made the long journey celebrate. A happy smile for a face of 2011, and I'm sure one of the great British faces of the Olympic Games. Next will be the national anthem and a moment to savour. quite simply the supreme moment of Mo Farah's athletics career. And we have got one big final yet to come for you. It's the men's sprint relay. And next up, you'll have the big man, Usain Bolt.
Welcome back to Daegu. Now, believe it or not, every now and again, even on an evening as packed as this, there is a little bit of respite. There's no action going on in the field or on the track. So what the organisers have is this extraordinary device called Kiss Time. We have one every night. Myself and Michael very much look forward to it. They put this up on the big screens. There's a jingle which is indescribable, really. I don't know if we've got any audio on it. And then everyone just sort of goes mad. They have a little kiss. I think Michael and I have been waiting just to see if they might put it onto the studio, but as yet nothing. There we go. Always shocked. There we go. Get involved. Why not? You're having a lovely evening.
It's my favorite time. That's what I'm going to miss most. I'm going to miss Kiss Time.
I'm going to buy you that on CD, Michael.
Right. Good man.
Let's talk about this triple jump. We've said it. Dean Macy said it in commentary. One of the great triple jump competitions of all time, I think. Yeah. And it is one of those events where someone can just get it all right, get all their phases right, and that's what Christian Taylor did.
Right, I mean, he did, and he put so much pressure on the rest of the field. We talked about that after the first round, that Phillips Adowu had put pressure on the rest of the field, but then Christian comes back and responds. It's a great competition to see. I mean, these young kids, Christian Taylor and Will Clay, both University of Florida students, and that's the development system in the U.S. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're both 20 and 21 years old, and they come out here and take medals at the World Championships.
We can have a look here on Dartfish at Taylor's 1796.
He's so fast, he's so quick, he's really fast down the runway, and he just hit this jump just perfect on every phase. I mean, I'm no triple jump expert, but that looks pretty doggone good to me right there. I mean, you just don't see anything but just movement going forward, and it was just it looked like something that Ewan was trying to describe earlier, but that was just unbelievable, really. Words can't describe just how smooth he was. And you watch here, you got Phillips, a much more powerful. He's leaning backwards a little bit as he gets to the board, trying to get on it. In contrast, Christian was just so smooth and so much momentum going forward through every phase, and that's the difference between, I believe, between Christian's jump and Phillips here with his 1777.
And nevertheless, 1777, you've got to say, was the response of a champion from Phillips.
Yeah, I mean, he came out there with a big jump early on, knew he had to come back, but that was out of his range, at least for right now. I think that Phillips has a big jump in him, and I think he can do it next year or sometime in the future. But tonight, he didn't expect that. He wouldn't come in here expecting to have to jump that far.
So Great Britain have won a gold this evening, a silver. So we can have a look at the medal table now. Still in sixth, but 2 golds, 4 silvers, and a bronze. Seven was the target set by the head coach, Charles Van Comedy. So you'd assume he'll be pretty pleased with Team GB's performance.
Well, you know, 7 was what he wanted. I think that Charles will be happy with that, but I know how he is. I think that he will look at a lot of the near misses and be disappointed with that. And that's a good situation to be in, to hit your target, but also still have a lot of places that you can look at and say, hey, we should have had someone there, and we get it right, we will next year.
We're going to have another look at that list of British world champions that we saw before. And now that bottom right is filled with Mo Farah.
Yeah, and that was great for Mo. I mean, missing it in the 10,000 meters, coming back and getting the gold in the 5,000 meters, adding his name to a list of great champions. And I'm sure that he will be extremely pleased with that. There's a little bit of redemption as well.
And there's Usain Bolt now, just getting ready before our final event on the track, the 4x100 metres. Let's go to John Rawling.
Yes, and he's now being introduced to the crowd, and you can see the showmanship begins and the crowd responds. He's on the anchor leg for Jamaica. Whether or not they'll take the gold medal, the United States will have other ideas, of course. Time will tell. There is the start list for the final event of the 2011 World Championships. Great Britain in lane 3. They've got it to do, but it's not a bad lane draw. United States, very quick in qualification. They go in lane 4. And Jamaica, with Usain Bolt on the anchor leg, they start in lane 6. Well, Ewan Thomas, your thoughts on this one? Great Britain have got a really under pressure here to perform as we watch the various athletes being introduced to the crowd. St Kitts and Nevis in lane 1. Kim Collins will go on the second leg for them. Italy in lane 2, but just talk a little about the pressure that the Great Britain team is under.
They are under pressure. Yeah, they're not expected to win it, but they are going to have to run quicker than they did in the heats. They ran 38.29, and they can do that. The changeovers were quite safe. They're going to have to risk a little bit and stretch those out. And if all these 4 competitors will run as fast as they can, as they have in the past, then they can get among the medals.
Maybe an error would help. You always get the changeovers. Sometimes they can be ragged. Anything can happen. And as we remember from 2004 at the Athens Olympics, when Britain were not the fastest on paper, they came away with the gold medal. Christian Malcolm on lead-off. Craig Pickering is on the second leg, down the back straight. The bend will be run by Marlon Devonish, then Harry Akins-Ariti. And here's the United States. They've made changes for the final. Darvis Patton comes in on third leg. Walter Dix, who was second behind a double silver medalist and second behind Usain Bolt in the 200 metres. He will run on the anchor leg. Trell Kimmons there on the lead-off. He'll hand over to Justin Gatlin, then it's Patton, then Dix. Trinidad and Tobago, a national record for them in the heat. Keston Bledman, Mark Burns, Aaron Armstrong, Richard Thompson. They'll be optimistic that they could take the bronze medal. And now there'll be a response from the crowd for the defending champions, the Jamaicans, Nesta Carter, Michael Frater, Johan Blake, the individual champion running the second bend, and Usain Bolt on the anchor. Usain Bolt, I reckon, might have to come from behind here. He's going to have to be on a mission.
He's going to have to run. And as you said, he's up against Walter Dix, who we know is strong, we know he's quick, so let's hope he is, because I want to see the best of Bolt. We all do.
Poland in lane 7. They were very close to their national record in qualification, 38.33, which has stood since 1980. Pavel Stempel on the lead-off leg for them, and completing the lineup on the outside, it's France. Teddy Tinmar on lead-off. Christophe Lemaitre, who's in terrific form here, ran 19.8 for the 200 metres yesterday. He's on second leg. Yannick Lesourd on third. Jimmy Vico on the anchor leg. Lemaitre and Vico returned from the team that won gold in Barcelona at the European Championships. So there's Christian Malcolm, the British team captain. Concentration has to be right. He hasn't been absolutely at his best. But technically, for Britain, if they're going to get into contention, the handovers have to be immaculate.
On your marks.
St Kitts and Nevis 1, Italy 2, Great Britain 3, United States 4, Trinidad and Tobago 5, Jamaica, the defending champions, lane 6, Poland in 7, and France in lane 8. The American team, the relay team, watching intently, hoping that their men can emulate their success.
Set.
Sprint relay underway on the lead-off for the United States. Trell Kimmons, it's Nesta Carter for Jamaica, and they're dominant at the moment. Britain have got a bit to do. Handover for the Jamaicans is good. Handover for the Americans not as good. But Justin Gatlin is flying down that back straight, and he's closing in on Michael Frater, who'll pass on to Johan Blake, the individual champion. For the Americans, it's Darvis Patton. Britain languishing, and they come around towards the straight, and the final changeover. Usain Bolt and the Americans have messed up, and Usain Bolt is going to take the gold. He won't know. Usain Bolt running for the line. He crosses the line and takes the gold in a world record time, 37.04. The Jamaicans have not only retained their title, they've broken the world record. Just sensational. Great Britain, I think, dropped the baton. Didn't reach the final line, and the United States under pressure as well. They took a tumble, but Usain Bolt and the Jamaican sprinters produced a lap from the gods. The changeover's magnificent, and Usain Bolt went for the line, a man on a mission. He made a mess in the individual. He got the disqualification there, but how he flew down the straight, just flew.
and the world record has been rounded down, 37.04. Previously stood to Jamaica at 37.1. It was set in Beijing at the Olympic Games, and now they have broken it again. And celebrations for this wonderful Caribbean athletic nation will be long and profound. And watch this, he's just checking that the cameras are on him, just checking, and here he is. Well, Michael Johnson watching up in our presentation position. You know the world record experience, Michael, and it's not quite as good, I guess, to watch it, but that was something absolutely top draw.
Absolutely, it was 37.04. I never would have predicted that with this team. I mean, you said it earlier before they even started that Usain Bolt might actually have a little bit of work to do. But actually, this team, it all came down to the handoffs. They were so crisp and so clean. They stretched each handoff out. Look at that, perfect. And then you've got Usain Bolt on the anchor, and of course, it's over at that point. Not sure exactly at this point what happened with the Americans. Darvis Patton on the third leg looked like maybe he pulled a hamstring and fell. And then the British team wasn't able to get the baton around. But 37.04. Remember the last time they broke the world record in Beijing, that team actually had Asafa Powell and Usain Bolt on it. 2 world record holders at 100 meters. Usain doing his dance. That's pretty, I'm impressed with that.
Little touch of the Muhammad Ali's there. There was a bit of a shuffle. And he is loving every moment, isn't he? Jamaica, the world record. Let's watch again some of these replays. France, incidentally, in the carnage as the batons went flying. This is when the Americans went down. This is the third changeover. Now watch Harry Akins-Arite and watch the Americans outside. I hope we can see it on this shot. Well, there's where the baton went down, but already before then, he clashed with Harry Akins-Arite on the anchor leg, Walter Dix, and they'd gone tumbling, and the United States were out of it, and all that allowed France to come in for the silver medal in 38.2, and another medal for Kim Collins. He got the bronze. St. Kitts and Nevis have come in for bronze. Watch the Americans there. See him trip over Harry Akins-Arite. What did you make of that one, Ewan Thomas?
It looked to me that Harry went wide on his lane, and as the American was coming past him, he caught Harry, and Harry's probably just seeing it now. He's saying, look, it's not my fault, you know, but I don't know whose fault that was, but if Harry was out of his lane, that's very unfortunate for the Americans. But utter privilege to be here and watch Usain Bolt. He didn't even know anyone was close to him, but he was tearing up that track. I think Harry himself is looking up at the replay.
All right, so let's see what happens here. You've got Harry's arm, I believe it was Harry's arm that caught Darvis Patton. I believe it was Harry's arm that caught Darvis Patton as he was coming around. Patton would be, yeah, see right there, he's on the, so Harry is a little bit too far outside of his lane. His feet are in his lane, but his torso is over in Darvis Patton's lane. You would expect that Darvis Patton, being the curved runner, is going to run on the inside of his lane. He is in the right place where he's supposed to be.
Welcome back to the World Athletics Championships here in Daegu. We've just seen the Jamaican team run an electric 4x100 metres and break the world record, 37.04. In the midst of that, the British quartet did not finish. Sonia is talking to them now.
Well, Marlon, you were the incoming runner on that final changeover. What was your perspective of what happened?
I thought we were in the mix. It's going to be a tough one. It was important that our changeover went well. But I saw some kind of kerfuffle, something was going on with how he was driving, and one of the American guys hit. I'm not sure exactly what went on, but I'm surprised why I didn't catch him, because if he's been knocked, he should be swinging slower. So I felt like I came in a lot quicker than I did in the semi-final. Of course, the semi-final was qualifying. We were on for a good time. I'm extremely disappointed. Harry,
it would appear that it was your arm that clipped Darvis Patton of America. Is that what happened, do you think?
Yeah, I just saw Marlon on the marker. I went and I felt this big knee in my arm. It's bit hurt, but like, I'm mostly disappointed because we don't come here for this, and I don't want to sit here saying sorry to the nation. Do you know what I mean? I'm massively disappointed and can't explain what happened. I was in my lane, so for him to hit me, I can't say anything. I said sorry to the guy, but I stayed in my lane. I'm a big guy. This is our moment. Do you know what I mean? I'm not letting anything get in front of us. And if anything, that actually spurred me on to drive harder. I don't know. I just don't know. And I just want to say sorry. I'm sorry. Me and Marlon are sorry. The whole team. You know, big up to people like James Elliott and Tony Lester, all the guys at home. Just want to say sorry as well.
You just have hard lines.
Thank you.
The boys understandably disappointed. I mean, as a whole, what did you make of that 4x100-meter relay?
Well, obviously the Jamaicans were unbelievable with that. I just never would have expected a world record from that team. So it came down to just really crisp handoffs. But the British team, you know, in addition to the fact that Darvis Patton from the U.S. ran into Harry's arm, he went off too early. And then he didn't manage, and maybe he was thrown off at that point by the collision. But then what he should have done, and we discussed this before, it's his responsibility to be looking for the end of that zone. And if he sees himself getting too close to it and he hasn't heard from Marlon yet, then he's got to start slowing down, even if he has to come to a stop so that he can make sure that he gets the baton. But that didn't happen, and U.S. out of it, and then the U.S. actually, Darvis Patton fell over into Trinidad's lane, and Richard Thompson was out of it as well. So it just was a chain reaction, and very unfortunate, because it would have been a great relay fourth leg to see who's going to get those other medals.
Absolutely. We're going to take another look back now at the 5,000-meter final from earlier on this evening.
Mo Farah moves wide and just looks behind to see where the others are, to see whether somebody maybe just clipped his heel. It could have been his training partner, Galen Rupp. The three Kenyans are in close order. Rupp is there, Lagat challengingly placed in 6th place, just behind Farah. As they come into the straight once more, it's a Bere Kuma from Merger, and then the Arabian Alhamda. Then it's Mo Farah, then Galen Rupp. Koech is moving into a position where he can move and can cover any sort of break. They'll come through this time, Dave Moorcroft, with 3 laps to go.
3, the biggest laps in Mo's athletics career so far. 3 laps when he can become a world champion. Half of Mo's mind will be thinking, when am I going to kick? But also he'll be anticipating potentially a kick from somebody else. His little distance running computer's working overtime, but his legs have that ability. He really is now a world-class athlete. But he's followed by other great runners. There's 13 people still in contention. Koech, Lagat, Farah, Kuma, all the best athletes, all there, and all of them believe they can win a medal and possibly gold.
And don't forget the name Dejan Gebremeskel, the man with the sprint finish, the Ethiopian who's just allowing himself just to keep out of trouble. And he's just up on the shoulder, Mucci, of the Italian Mucci, and now moves up towards Galen Rupp, just working his way into slightly closer order. You see the third of the green-shirted Ethiopians at the back of this lead group with the chain swinging around his neck, and there up front it's Mo Farah alongside Kuma, and Farah now hits the front. Is he going to decide to go from a long way out? Lagat's there, Koech is there. This is turning into an epic.
Wherever Farah's been, Lagat has been. 2 laps to go, and Kuma was almost enticing Mo to take the lead, but the patient Mo Farah has just backed off, which is the right thing to do. It's not a problem being in that position. We've got Galen Rupp coming wide for the Americas. Maybe he'll push it on. He'll be doing Mo a bit of a favour if he does, the guy on the left-hand side.
And look at Gebremeskel, the Ethiopian, coming wide as well. He's covering any move, and Farah still leads from Kuma. Then comes Lagat, and Rupp now moves onto the shoulder of his training partner, and a 64-second lap. And now it's Farah and Rupp who lead the way, and somebody's gone down. One of the Kenyans has gone down. We'll try and bring you that as soon as we can. Koech is still there. It may be Longasiwa who went down, but Koech, the most dangerous of the Kenyans. It is indeed Longasiwa who went down. Koech avoided that. So too did the Ethiopians, and they'll come up this time to take the bell, and the burn-up is on as the Kenyans take it up.
It is now. Mo's decided he's going to keep the lead. He's going to push the other people away. He's making his run for home, but it isn't a sprint, it's a wind-up, and the wind-up Legat's still there, but the wind-up might be the best tactic.
300 metres to go. Gebra Meskel, the man with the sprint finish, who's already beaten Farah indoors. He's up there. Koech is there. Lagat back in 5th place. Gebra Meskel going for gold, but Mo Farah on the inside is holding him off at the moment. 57-second lap. Less than 200 metres to go. What a race we have. Merger in 3rd place, and here comes Lagat. Mo into the last 100 metres. Farah's going for gold. Gebra Meskel can't respond. Here comes Lagat. Lagat's coming all the time. He's closing with every stride, but Farah's going to win it. And Mo Farah takes the gold. What a performance from Mo Farah. He kisses the ground in celebration. Silver in the 10,000 metres, and now gold when it mattered in the 5.
Mo Farah adds a gold to his silver in the 10,000 metres. I'm delighted to say we're now joined by the head coach of the British team, Charles Van Comeny. Charles, we'll start with Mo. What a run.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to watch TV than talk about it. The pictures speak for itself. It's I would say when I see Mo run, I think 1 year ago he was maybe 6th in the world, and now he's the best. And that's so difficult to become the best athlete in the world. We've seen it this week with quite a few favorites not winning, and Mo does it. So it's a lot of admiration for that.
Did you speak with him between the 10,000, which would have been, although it was a silver medal, a relative disappointment for him, and this race?
Obviously, there were 5 days in between, and the first thing we had collectively to take care of that he recovered quickly. We have quite a big group of people around him actually, and his coach Alberto Salazar has been taking care of it a lot. So yes, he was very disappointed after the 10K, and it took him a while to get over that, but quickly enough he could focus on the next event.
And what about the triple jump competition this evening? I mean, Phillips jumped fantastically, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, Phillips is an awesome competitor. He produced a distance here that is, in any other World Championships, enough for gold. So, yeah, there was a better athlete tonight, but awesome performance from Phillips.
And what about the week as a whole, from the British perspective? You wanted 7 medals, you got 7 medals.
Yeah, and 2 golds. So that is one of the very best performances we've ever had in history of British athletics. That sets us up in a nice platform for next year, where the target is 8. So it's my job to find another medal. Has not only been great. Obviously, we have a good crop of athletes who could come close to medals but didn't. So I always knew when we would be at the end of this championship, we would not have had the finished product. We always knew there is work to be done in the next 11 months. The good thing now is I know exactly what we have to do. So I find it's a positive experience altogether.
Okay, Charles, thanks very much for talking to us. Cheers.
Thank you.
We're going to go to a break now, but after that we'll be reviewing and we'll have much, much more for you. Welcome back to the closing ceremony. The closing ceremony is underway here at the 13th IAAF World Athletics Championships in Daegu. It's pretty noisy, but I can tell you a little bit of news about Mohamed Farah's 5,000 metres. In the final, Merger has been disqualified for a lane infringement, which means that Gebra Meskel of Ethiopia will take the bronze. And I invite you to just feast your eyes on that for a little while. Mo Farah, Great Britain, gold medal. Not quite such a great evening for Phillips Adowu. This is how his story develops over the evening.
Phillips Adowu has just seen Will Clay from the USA jump 17 metres 50 in the 3rd round. How can he respond? He has just seen Mo Farah take that 5,000 metre gold medal. Come on, Phillips, use it, mate, respond. He's on the board, he's good through his three phases, he's a long way over 17 metres. My word, Phillips Adawu. Wow, we said 1750 plus would be a medal position. My word, what has he just done? That is a long way closer to 18 metres than 17. Phillips, well, you've still got a fair few centimetres to give away, but that is good. We knew he was in shape when he said he didn't really nail it in qualifying. My word, Phillips Adawu, that could well be a gold medal jump. Look at that first hop, big step, so smooth. Well, there's Nelson Navora. He knows that's game over for him. Straight to the coach. Where's the scores? 17 metres 70, a season's best, and only 11 centimetres off his personal best. This is a very, very dangerous man. 17 metres 40 in that fourth round. He's improving all the way through. He beat Phillips Adawu at Crystal Palace just before this competition. He's a young man, just 21 years old. He's ranked number 3 in the world this year, US number 1. What can he do? Well, it's good, it's long, it's massive. Oh my word, it's a long way over Phillips Adawu's lead, and it is so close to the 18-metre mark. 17.96, fifth longest jump of all time. The defending champion. No Brit has ever retained a world title, and he has one jump to jump 17 metres and 97 or more to do that. That's the man that's holding the lead, Christian Taylor, at the moment. Now this is it, probably the most important jump of Phillips Adawu's life. In second place at the moment, 17.77, season's best in that fourth round. He's competed fantastically. He's responded when he needed to, but he needs to respond right now, right here, more than ever. 20 centimetres he needs. Come on, Phillips, one jump. Oh, it's a good one, but it ain't good enough. Unfortunately, Phillips cannot retain that world title. He has competed fantastically here. I have to say, from my perspective, and there's Aston Moore, I thought 17.77 would take it. But that's just life, I guess.
So there's that result confirmed. Will Clay, the young American, in the bronze with 17.50 at PB. Phillips Adawu, a massive 17 metres 77, as Charles Van Comedy said. Normally that would have been enough to win gold, but not tonight. Christian Taylor, 17.96, the gold medal position. What a performance from him.
At the point you jumped 17.77, did you think, that's it, I've got this?
No, never. I never think that until the last round, so I kept on working all the way through. I felt like I had a bigger jump in me, just never came about today, but it was a tough comp, and I'm glad I competed the way I did, definitely.
Well, Christian Taylor certainly had to jump big to beat you, and he did that. What on earth were you thinking at that point?
I didn't really think too much of it, to be honest. I felt that I could have come back. I felt like I had it in my legs to jump that far as well. So I just kept focused and kept on working on what my coach told me to do. It never quite happened. It's one of them things. It only takes one jump, and he had one good jump today, and that was enough to take the medal. I'm pleased with my series of jumps today, so hopefully I can progress from there.
You were a disappointed athlete in Beijing when you finished second. Is it a similar emotion now, if you're truly honest?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm pleased to get a medal. Year by year, I'm coming out of these major champs and picking up medals. So can't complain. I'll just take this medal and then go on and focus and get prepared for next year.
Absolutely. Well done to you. You should be very proud.
Thanks.
Here we go to the medal ceremony for the triple jump. Phillips Adawu about to receive his silver medal. There he goes. Not going to refuse this one. Knows his jump well. We're going to see some great scenes out here, Michael. I mean, all the colours, all the colours.
Yeah, and very loud.
Yes.
But it's a fitting end to this championships. The crowd's been great. They've been into it. They've really enjoyed hosting the world really here in Daegu, and it's a great ceremony that ended all. It started off with a bang. I got a feeling it's going to end with a bang. I think we're going to have fireworks coming soon.
I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. And just to sum up, so many performances to talk about, but one that stood out for you.
I would have to say Sally Pearson. I mean, that was just a phenomenal performance. I mean, across the board for that day for her, and I was really pleased to see it.
Okay, thanks so much, Michael, for guiding us through with all your typical candour and insight. We've reached the end of the 13th World Athletics Championships. 7 o'clock this evening, we'll have highlights of today and a look back at a fascinating 9 days. We have had everything. We really have. Our fair share of controversy, drama. Mo, gold. Dai, gold. Good night. Daegu, the 13th World Athletics Championship.
Kiplagat has fallen down. Pistorius is going to make it. Oh dear, dear, dear. Is it going to be gold for Farah? No! Oh my word, it's a false start. I can't believe it. Blake wins it. Jess Ennis will be in the lead position overnight. Oh my word! What a finish! Daron Robles has been disqualified. Jess going to take it!
Come on, Jess.
We are potentially looking at a world champion.
And Ennis is going to have to settle for the silver medal. And James is coming back at him. And James is going to get there. Gold for David Rudisha. And England's going to get to the medals. Yes, she's going to get the silver. It's down to the sprint. Can Green get there? Colton versus Green. Green gets there. It is a gold medal for Great Britain. Dai Green has fulfilled his lifetime dream. But no, it's going to be Campbell Brown. It is LaShawn Merritt for the United States who takes the gold.
This javelin competition will go down as one of the best in history.
That is one of the fastest runs of all time. The big man wreathed in smiles. He's defended his title quite magnificently.
Number one, every day, all day. Believe it.